Are you ready? Are you ready to judge Kefals? Do you know what Kefals did? You're gonna react when there are more than 3 people. Come on. What do you think happened? Ready? Who? Mute. I mute myself. Destroy. Oh, oh, oh. Quack, 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 quack. Ooh. Smokey. Okay, Smokey. Quack, 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 quack. Wah, 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 wah. Machine gun. Quack, wah. Quack, wah, quack, wah. Batra magic. Come on. I return it to you. I return it to you. Come on. Destroy. Come on. Let's wait for some more people and then we will roast Kefals. I have been waiting for this. Kefals must pay. She will pay. Kefals will pay for her sins. You understand me? It's time. It's time for Kefals to pay for her sins against humanity. Come on. Summon. Let's summon Chocobo. Summon. No, not. Summon. Yeah, we roast Kefals. Woo! Come on. Wah, wah, wah. Do you ready to roast Kefals? Roast Kefals. Kefals. So let's get more gigrets in here so we can roast Kefals. A roast Kefal. Kefal. Savez gamin? Are you ready to roast Kefal? I'm ready. I'm always ready. Down. Come on. I'm ready to roast Kefals. It's time to roast Kefals. Let's link this to President Sunday so we can roast Kefals. Deal. Okay. Let's go to President Sunday. Orbiters. Come on. Kefals the what? Now let's share it to other places. Like the Vouch place, right? So we can self-shield. What is it? Come on. Where is Vaush's self-shield? Kefals. Shield posting. Boom. What else can we share? Demo Mama. Come on. Self promo. Boom. What else can we share our roasting of kefals? I think. What do you think, Yas Sadaka? Where can we share roast kefals? Green room? Are we ready? Only 2 people? Wow, people left instead of joining more. This is incredible. This is incredible, Gigrats. I thought few people would join, but instead less people are here. Wait, whoa, I can join also on Zanderhal. Major promos. Boom. So how is everybody? How is everybody? How is you? How is you? How is you, Sadaka? How is you right now? Are you ready? Are you prepared mentally? Maybe here. I'll put it here as well, although thank yous will just come to the chat. But it's okay. We can debate them. Where else? Where else? Ooh, maybe on Dylan Burns. Dylan Burns. Share a stream? Okay, I'll share my stream, Dylan Burns. I'll share my stream, Dylan Burns. You should go to bed now, Shadaka. Come on. Don't go to bed. We have an important video to go through. We have to roast kefals. Okay, let's play some Final Fantasy. And then we roast kefals. We have a chocobo to catch. Let's go here. Bye. Greens? Greens! Gishagri. Gishagri? Okay, let's go. Chocobo. Let's go. Wah, 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 wah. Aww, chocobo. Wah, 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 wah. Elephant. 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 What did you do? It is! We shall react to it. Hello, Pipa. Let's get a few more people in here, then we can start. Yeah. I'll show you what she did. Come on. Are you prepared for what Kefals did? I will spill the tea. If you Yeah. I can believe what she did. I will destroy. We will roast Kefals. But get more giglets in the chat and then we can begin. Come on. With 5+ people we can begin. There are 4 people right now. So we're just missing 1 people. We're missing 1 people. Pipa, can we get more people? Pipa, do you think we can get more people? I really like saying Pipa and people. Come on. Do you understand me, my feelings? Do you understand my feelings? The farce, yeah. I always wanted to ratio 5 people. Okay, 5 people. Let's get into this, okay? Let's get into the today's hot story. Hot story, okay? Today's hot story. What's the hot story of today? Ptasie mleczko. Initial screen is always ptasie mleczko. No time for happy music. Kefals. We begin the segment in earnest. Why I regret the surgery. Okay.
Relieved.
My gosh. Okay. We're gonna... TK, hello! Do you see what's happening? This is Kefals. Kefals is at it again. She has done it again, okay? And I'm here to call it out. Okay, I'm here to call out Kefals' evil behavior. Yeah, we do commentary. We do reaction to Kefals' bad behavior. Kefals, I will let you take over and I will comment when necessary, okay?
So this might be the hardest video I'll ever have to make.
Okay, let's see what this hardest video is, okay? I have made many hard videos in my life. Yeah, she looks different because she's making the hardest video in her entire life and she's being very serious here, okay? I have made many serious videos in my life myself, so I know how it feels to make a serious video. I know how to be serious. You might know me as not serious, but I'm actually the most serious creator on this space. I think I'm special in the sense that I actually invented being serious. It's quiet? Okay, let's make it loud. Make it so loud that our ears will burst. Testing.
Be the hardest video I'll ever have to make. I
Is
know
it?
people are going to get mad
Is
at
it loud now? Let's make it top loud, okay?
me for this video, but honestly, I want to tell the truth.
Is it loud now? Oh, you want to tell the truth for once, Kefals, huh? Okay. Tell the truth for once, Kefals. I will be waiting for you to tell the truth for once in your entire life. Okay? Okay, let's go.
I've sat on this for 10 years.
10 years? It sounds like an egg. But eggs do not hatch after 10 years. There have been things that I have been sitting on for 1 billion years. Okay. But that okay, yeah, we can hear it out of the Kefal's mouth.
It's been 10 years
10
since I've
years.
had the surgery.
The surgery? Okay, let's hear more. This is, I'm suspicious already.
And I didn't want people to know. There's this
You
expectation.
didn't want people to know that you had the surgery? For 10 years? You had it, you kept your surgery a secret for 10 years? And you didn't want to know?
In the trans community that if you have any problems with the surgery, if you're not happy with yourself after having it, you're not supposed to talk about it because it
Really?
makes all of us look bad.
Oh.
And I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to get dragged by my own community for
Oh.
telling the truth about the situation. In this video,
Really? Why didn't you want to tell the truth? Why were you lying to us for 10 years?
I'm going to tell you
So Kefals has been lying to us for 10 years. Okay, got it.
all why I regret having the surgery. I've never talked about this before, and this is going to be one of the hardest things I've ever had to do my entire
Okay,
life.
okay.
Before I get into it, I need to
I had my tough situations in life as well, so I guess I can relate, right?
apologize. I need to apologize to all the people that I've lashed out at because they got under my
How can this be a joke if this is the most serious video that Kefals has made ever in her life?
skin. Rightfully so.
Okay.
Because they knew who I was. I think
Who are
they
you?
saw and understood who I was better than I did.
Really?
So,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
Sorry to Matt Walsh.
Oh, you're sorry for lying for 10 years. Okay.
I'm sorry to Libs of TikTok. I'm sorry to all the detransitioners who are just out there trying to tell their truth.
True. Are you sorry to me?
It wasn't right of me to lash out at all of you.
True.
I understand now why Matt Walsh and Libs of TikTok, Tim Pool, Blair White,
Tim
why
Pool?
all of those people blocked me on Twitter because they thought I
Because?
couldn't be helped.
Oh, no.
But
But
I think this changes now. I was 18 years
now
old
you can be helped.
when my parents took
I
me
help
to the
you.
doctor to have the surgery.
Oh, no.
All I ever wanted to do was feel like a normal kid.
Okay.
I got bullied.
Hey, oh yeah, wait, hold on. 18 years old is not a kid. 18 years old, you're not a kid at 18 years old. Don't infantilize yourself, Kefals. Don't infantilize yourself, Kefals.
A lot, and I didn't think that I could ever really be a man. I thought that maybe it would be easier to be a woman because I
True.
wouldn't get bullied. I wouldn't get called a sissy
Dude,
boy.
don't get bullied. I will bully you.
And I was wrong.
You was wrong. You can be bullied. Can I bully you?
I was completely wrong.
Exactly, I bully you.
And I'm going to regret this for the rest of my life. There's
You're
an
gonna regret not being. You're gonna regret thinking that you cannot be bullied for the rest of your life?
entire industry around transgender people. Doctors who are making millions of dollars butchering children.
Doctors.
It's absolutely disgusting. And I fell prey to them. Once you have the surgery, there's no
You
way
paid them $1 million?
back. There's no way to reverse the irreversible damage. You're stuck with genitals that are mutilated for the rest of your life. I've been a lifelong patient. I was made a lifelong patient. I've been seeing doctors since I was a child. I'll be on medication for the rest of my life. I really wish that the doctor who performed on my genitals warned me about any of the things that would happen.
Okay, what did the doctor not warn False about? Place your bets, Giglets. Place your bets. What did the doctor not warn False about?
The irreversible damage that I can never change.
Wow.
I'll never be able to get my life back.
Yeah, true.
And part of the reason that I'm making this video in the first place is because I want to warn people. I want to let you know what happens when you have the surgery, so maybe you won't have the same mistake I did. I was never told when I had the surgery
Oh no.
that I would end up having some of the best sex in my life after having it.
Oh no, that's not safe for word.
That I would be completely comfortable with my genitals.
Oh
I
no.
have for the last 10 years. I never had...
Wait, but you kept your surgery a secret for 10 years. You said it at the start.
Doctors sit me down and say, look, Keffels,
False.
you're going to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and you'll see yourself for the first time. No one ever warned me that that would be the case. There was no pamphlet or brochure that I read. No consultation with a doctor that told me that after having the surgery, I would be so relieved that I don't have to worry about having a dick and balls in the way of my underwear anymore. And
They should have warned you.
Not a single conversation about how after the surgery, I would live some of the happiest years of my life.
They should have warned you.
Tell people before they do this sort of thing, before they change their body permanently like
But
this.
they used
And
you.
I really regret this. It's not normal.
It's not.
It's not okay.
Is it?
No one should feel this comfortable with their body.
True.
No one should
We should feel uncomfortable and I will bully you.
have sex as good as I'm currently having.
Don't tell us about your sex! This video is just because Kefals wanted to tell us about her good sex, but she didn't know how, and she built a whole troll video around it, okay? Okay? This video is not misleading types, okay? This is the real reason. This is the real reason. She made the video because she wanted to brag about her good sex but didn't know how to do it. So she created a whole quote-unquote anti-TERF video around her wish to tell everybody how good her sex is. This is the truth, okay? This is the truth about the video. I have decoded the secret message. The real reason for this naive people think, okay? Like naive people think that this is like to troll TERFs, to fool TERFs or whatever, but no, this is to humble brag about good sex. This is like the real reason for this video. And I will stand by my opinion, okay? I will... Hello, Sal. Do you agree with my theories? Do you agree with me? I think I'm right.
I want to be like a normal person. I want to hate myself.
True.
And I want to have terrible, terrible, terrible sex.
You need to hate yourself like me.
One final message to give. But before I do that, I just need to say something. I'm never going to get my penis back.
No!
It's gone forever. There's no way to reverse course.
Oh, no.
But if you subscribe to my channel on YouTube, that's basically like giving me my penis back. If you're considering having the surgery, don't do it. Cancel it now if it's scheduled. And if you're a parent with a trans kid, never let them have that surgery. It will ruin their life. Because no one should feel as good as I currently do about my own body.
I don't feel good about my body.
And grow into
which is
miserable
good.
adults who hate
So I'm in a good place because I don't feel good about my body.
everything about themselves. There are so many brave activists out there leading the charge against transgender cultists, trying to keep people from making the mistakes that I did, trying to keep people from being happier than they should be allowed to be.
True.
And
everybody should be miserable like me.
I'm sorry that I was so rude to them because I couldn't look past everything. I knew deep down that
I guess not having money or transitioning is a blessing in disguise for me.
I was wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. From now on, I'm going to be taking a stand against gender ideology. Matt Walsh, please unblock me on Twitter. The same goes for you, Blair White.
Yeah.
I've changed. I'm going to be a better person. As well, I'm making an announcement.
What is an
I'm
announcement?
detransitioning. From now on, I am no longer a transgender woman. I am a cisgender woman. I am detransitioning into cisgender.
Wait, that's not a new announcement. You already said that on Twitter a long time ago. How can this be an announcement if you already said it a long time ago? That's a fake announcement. That's not a real announcement. Not only are you bragging about your sex, you're also making fake new announcements.
Proud detransitioner. I'm looking forward to going on the Tucker Carlson show and any other talk show host who will take me.
Take me? Oh my gosh, take me. I will clip it and chimp it, okay? I will clip chimp it, okay? I will clip chip into Matt Walsh, Tucker Carlson. Take me?
The dangers of gender ideology and to make sure that no one is allowed to be happy. I'll never be able to reverse the damage that was done to my body at such a young age.
Oh no.
But I know that the money that I'll be given from participating in a panic that is causing trans people to lose their rights at an unprecedented rate and fear for their lives might make me feel better. If there's any ask I have for people who are watching this, please share my story.
See, Butterwagon?
Video. People need to know the truth. Often, the woke media only presents one side of the story.
True.
The side that's pro-gender ideology. But they never present stories like my story. People who regret having
Exactly.
the surgery. And I think it's about time that people wake up. I'm going to be dedicating the rest of my life to fighting against gender ideology. Every
True.
day I look up and look at myself in the mirror, I remember that I'm branded with a mistake, a society that let people go too far.
Too far.
And I want things to change.
True.
Thank
They
you
should
all for
be.
watching this video.
Thank you,
It means a
Kefal.
lot to me because
True.
I've sat on this for so many years.
For 10 years,
And I'm
lying.
so happy to finally be able to tell my truth.
True. It's like people should be miserable like me. I will write a comment, okay? I will write a comment. So, I write a comment right now. False? It's true. Everybody should be unhappy with their body like Lucy is. Struggling with money is a blessing in disguise because Lucy can be just as miserable as God. What's the word? As God prescribe. Prescribe! Come on! Also, stop bragging about your good sex. You should have no sex! Like Lucy. Come on! There we go! How do you like this comment? Do you like this comment? It's true, capitalism is saving me. Do you like this comment? How do you like this comment? Do you approve of this comment? I will let you decide. Press 1 if you like this comment. Press 2 if I should write more. More. Is this okay? Yeah, comment ticket, exactly. It's good? Press 1 if you like the comment. Press 2 if you find it lacking and I should write more. Okay, one from TK. One from TK. 1 from Butter Wagon. Okay, where I doing? 1, okay, I guess it's okay to safely post it comment. The comment is posted, Gigglers. We have roasted the kefals. I will, of course, upload this as a segment. Kefals has gone too far, I think. Too far. Also, Pipa, am I good at comedy? Pipa, tell me, am I good at comedy? Bad comment? No, Pipa! Oh no, Pipa doesn't like me. Pipa does not like my humor. Pipa, why you so mean to me? Why you bully me? This is a good comment. Yeah, short segment. Why this is happening? Okay, let's go to the next segment. I'm pretty sure Andrew Tate is gay. I actually had a really good segment. Woo! Destiny fires back at Vosh for... do you want to see Salty Steve? I am funny! Pipa, come on! I am the funniest person alive. I cannot believe Do you want to see Destiny Files Bucket vouch for canvassing claims addressed? Are you ready for this? Who is strongest? Want to see Steven content? Did you come here for Steven content? Okay, Steven time.
I assume that sometime in the past few weeks a leftist told him, it would be terrible if you did canvassing in Georgia. So now he's motivated by this. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, you know.
The problem is that people have the capability to do so much in this world for political causes, for the things they believe in, and instead...
Exactly! People have ability to do so much! Almost as much as Steven! You know? Okay. Like, Steven is so okay. You're so correct here, okay? Like, people have the ability to do so much. Like, and yet they don't even do 1% of what Steven does for the world. Well, thankfully we have Steven, right?
They take all those resources and this person posted...
Exactly. And they don't even do, like, a fraction. Look what all those streamers have to do to imitate a fraction of Steven's power.
This, saying, I know why the power is out, and it's because God is punishing drag race people.
Exactly. Like, what they have to imitate Steven's power.
Now, people have basically taken that Facebook post, and they've run with it and said, oh my God, this coordinated attack on these power substations was to shut down a drag show. I will say... and I'll couch my own opinion. It could be the case that some power substation was...
Okay, Steven's about to give his opinion, and as we all know, Steven's opinion. Steven actually, little known fact, Steven actually invented having opinions on the internet. So if you have an opinion and you are on the internet, you're basically a Steven copycat. Or, at best, you're a orbiter.
Targeted for a drag show?
He does have blue hair now. No, it was not a meme Photoshop.
Possible. We just need actual evidence of it. I know that really triggers people when I'm like, we need evidence of this happening.
Trigger people.
Like, you don't really lose anything by waiting for the evidence to surface.
No, I think he's just like keeping a promise he made a long time ago or something. I don't know. But yeah, trigger. I'm triggered. I'm triggered as heck. Yeah, it's a sub goal from years ago.
You know?
Destiny.
Assume you've seen this bullshit.
Oh.
Asana is taking home the Emmy for new. Yeah, doesn't this make sense? I think the streamers are usually the most popular streamers, and then they just choose like the most popular streamers in each category.
Exactly. If anyone should get the reward, it should be Steven. For creating streaming as we know it, for being the god of streaming. If Osamu Tezuka was the god of manga and created manga as we know it today, then surely Steven is the god of streaming and the father of streaming as we know it today.
It'll be like streamer of the year. It'll be like, who's that? It'll be like XQ.
It's like Steven is Destiny for sure, right? For sure.
QC, wow, he has the most viewers. Then it'll be like Kai Senate, wow, he has the most viewers. It's just like, yeah.
Lucy? Oh, Gila, come on. We are almost 500 subs.
I don't know how you guys get so mad over this. Do you have COVID? No, I wish I had COVID. I took a PCR test and I was negative. I don't know what the fuck I have. I read somewhere that...
Do you think our consciousness stems...
Why do you wish you had COVID? Why are you so strange? Why is Steven so weird?
Directly from our brain.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I read somewhere that like...
Gotcha.
With everybody staying inside, the disease rates for everybody went really low during the lockdown periods. And it might be that like... now that everybody's back out again, we're all like recirculating all the old diseases, the old school shit that was hiding away. Maybe
what? Hiding what? What is this weird? What is this strange theory crafting when Steven starts theory crafting, we know, we're in for a treat, right? Oh, wait. I have to change the title now. Okay? There we go. Destiny did what? This is like the new title now. Destiny did what? There you go. The key to me being a famous streamer is me changing the title in real time, okay? I like this. I have to like my own stream as well.
That's maybe I'm just catching up on all of that or something. I'm not sure. Might be flu. I don't know. My body wasn't sore at all. Is your taste fucked? Yeah, but my taste is always fucked. I'm sick. Everything smells and tastes like fucking boogers. There's just like a sick. There's like a. Somebody here must know what I'm talking about. There's like a feeling you get when you're about to get sick before you're actually sick. You smell and you're like, oh, it smells like sickness. I can just smell the sickness.
I can just smell the sickness. It's not that a logical theory, considering that, from what I know, the US did not even do such a great job at staying at home to begin with. Okay, so all the old school things were circulating pretty okay. 2 years spent distancing from people is logical conclusion. People will get sick more due to lack of immunity. I got a huge luck after the first lockdown. Like, the US did not do such a great job distancing and isolating to begin with, you know?
It's like a
like there would be maybe a sound theory if the US actually did any sort of serious isolation to begin with. But from what I know, it actually did not, so...
I don't get it. Oh, I don't know. I get that feeling. I always know. I could tell driving down. I was like, oh god. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's all in my head. But then I was like, oh no, I got sick. Fuck me. Vosh on you canvassing in Georgia.
Oh, we're getting to the topic of the video. Like of Destiny did what?
Canvassing in Georgia. I didn't know that, but good luck to him.
Good luck,
I
Destiny.
assume that sometime in the past few weeks a leftist told him, it would be terrible if you did canvassing in Georgia. So now he's motivated by the spite there. I don't know. Whatever the case may be,
race is on the line this time, as opposed to when we were
because
out
it was
there,
like
both of them were.
yeah.
Ossoff isn't running for re-election. I mean, he's not up for re-election
He won
right
a full
now, right?
term, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You know what? If there's a
Just
runoff, yeah, we'll do it. We'll go again.
Whoa!
I'll make that. I'll make that commitment to you right now, IRI. Okay. Yeah. If there's a runoff, we'll go.
You'll do
again.
what?
If there's a runoff, we'll do another canvassing thing. At least I'll commit to one event, maybe two.
One weekend.
Yeah, maybe
One
two,
weekend,
maybe two.
that's
Yeah.
it.
I see.
But
Steven will do the canvassing. Steven will save the world.
Damn!
Damn!
Here first. Awesome.
That's right.
I would
It's
love to go out there
breaking
and get some
news.
doors.
I wish that his f***ing disgusting ear infection killed this brainlet fucking moron.
What the hell? Oh no. Oh no! This is his response. We just heard it in real time. Ear infection, kill this moron! I will do canvassing when I become bigger. I will do canvassing for someone. I don't know. Canvassing is not really a thing in Poland.
I think the world would be a better place. I knew it was
see.
a grumpy stream when I saw losers on the subreddit getting banned for saying they weren't allowed to call Fuentes a Nazi. You can call people anything you want. Here is the frustrating thing for my position, okay?
I see.
All
Okay,
you guys do is you're just a bunch of retards baiting the other retards, but then you act like you're not retarded. Like, that's what you
Oh!
do, right? Like, you guys act retarded.
So everybody is an arsler except Steven. Steven is the smartest person in the world. I get it. I get it.
And then the other side sees it, and then they act retarded, and then you guys go, look, they're retards, and then you guys act retarded, and then they go, oh, look, they're retarded, and then you guys just infinitely circle bait each other into it. Like,
Steven is just surrounded by subpar people. That's so sad. If only Steven had an equal. If only Steven had equal people. But Steven was cursed, being born into an existence of like perfection. And I don't know, that's like his perfection is also his curse, because he was also born into a world of mediocrity that cannot reach his high standard of thought and his high standard of existing. Uy, uy, uy. That must be tough. That must be tough, okay? Must be tough being Steven.
Like into perpetuity. That's what you guys do.
Yeah, it's
and the
tough.
entire time you guys think you have the moral high ground because the last person to act retarded right before you.
See, like you have the high ground. Like Steven tries to educate them. Steven tries to bring them closer to his level, but he cannot because they're just not, they were just not born as great as Steven. That is the sadness of his life, that he tries to make the world a better place. He tries to bring enlightenment, so to speak, to people, but they just can't because they are not as smart as him.
You do. It was them.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
it's so
is
fucking
it?
cringe.
Yeah, it's so cringe. True. Agreed, 1,000,000,000%. If only, Steven.
Like we've watched Sneeko get fucking retard holed into the fucking Rumble world with Kanye West and whatever horrible fucking, dark pit of hell those people.
He described Sean of Stanley sounds like Howard Rock from the Fountainhead. Howard is the plight of the Ubermensch. Steve, I'm sorry. Valhalla, I'm sorry. I have to call you out. Jesus Christ, Stephen actually started doing what Jesus Christ did before Jesus Christ did it. Like, Jesus Christ was in Stephen's community, and then Jesus Christ betrayed Stephen and did his own thing. But let's not forget, please, Valhalla, please don't forget that what Jesus Christ was doing, Stephen was doing a long time ago, before Jesus Christ, okay? I think Stephen is like a special case, a special person, like one. Nobody did what Stephen did. And then Jesus Christ, just like in his community, he learned all of his teachings and talking points, and then he left to Jerusalem or who knows where to copy him, And Stephen was like good enough not to call him out. Yeah, I don't know.
People are falling into.
Like, consider this. Where is Jesus now? Jesus is dead, and Stephen is still making good content, okay? Have you considered this? Jesus ended on a cross, and Stephen is still here. So in the end, who won? Who was the better one at the end of the day? Yeah, I just understand the nature of the game better. I'm not as smart as Steven, but I understand the nature of the game at least somewhat.
Vosh has done political activism before. Why do you say he hasn't? Yeah. Listen up, you fucking morons. Okay.
See, listen up, you morons. Listen up. Wow.
This is what political streamers do on the left, okay?
Yeah, on the left. Not unlike Steven, who is on the, I don't know where, on the spectrum. This is the public messages, you morons. You idiots.
Only political activism they will do is activism that benefits themselves. That's
True. It's the only thing they will do. Just like when they helped me, and it only benefited them.
So yeah, there is activism they will do, but it's only when it directly serves their financial interests, like the good little capitalist cucks they are. Because no one's more capitalist than a motherfucker in a socialist label. Okay?
True. Unlike Steven. Steven never does things just for money. Steven never does anything just for profit. Steven tries to save the world. Unlike those mother quacker leftists. You need to understand that, you morons, you idiots. Get it for your skulls. Steven is the only honest streamer, and he was the first streamer. He was the first streamer in the world to make any money. Of course. Steven is the only streamer who understands. All of us other streamers can only lick his boots.
They're the most capitalist motherfucker.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
yeah. Well, they actually do things. What do they do?
What do they do? What do they do? They don't do a fraction of what Steven does.
They do dono drives. Wow. They solicit their fucking audience for money while they sit there and get record high viewership, a number
Yeah, get their dono drives.
to show how much clout they
It's okay if he's unethical with money, though, because he's not a socialist. Socialist giving money, though, is unethical, don't you see? Yeah! Yeah, Gray, the HD is less of a moron. Gray is less of a moron. But the rest of you morons get it through your skulls. Only Steven is honest. Also, while we're at it, okay? While we're discussing this, okay? While we're on the subject of being a capitalist and a socialist, as a good socialist, Lucy feels the need to tell you, okay, that Lucy also has to be a socialist. It's socialism time. There you go. My Patreon. This is my socialist moment. I literally quit watching the content specifically because he's a hypocrite and content mail posting as a hangout house. No! You moron! No! Did you not hear what he just said? Did you not hear what he just said? No! No! He's the only good one. He's gonna do canvassing. And what do all of your streamers that you watch do? Nothing. They get record viewership. That's what they do. They do jack quack.
they are. Positive coverage all over the internet. They don't even
True.
have to leave the comfort of their own
True.
house.
Exactly. Just like Steven, who leaves the house all the time to do his wokeism has gone too far. Prove me wrong. Change my mind. Has Vosh ever gone out of his house to do a change my mind thing? No. Because Vosh is a coward. Vosh is a socialist. You morons. I have no patience for people whose brand is I do better, who are actually money hungry mini gangsters. No! I mean, no! I didn't laugh at that. I laugh at you because you said such an idiotic comment. You moron! Like, has Vosh, tell me this in the chat right now. Has Vosh ever gone to a university campus to do a change my mind like Steven does? Steven gets out. Steven gets out to do things. Okay? Steven did the change my mind thing. You morons. You don't get it. You just don't understand it.
They don't even donate to their own fundraiser? Wow.
True. Just like they didn't donate to the fundraiser for my mom. Because they're capitalists. And the only thing they got from helping my mom is profit and record viewerships. There you go.
Wow.
You
Amazing.
morons. Amazing.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah.
How selfless.
Yeah, how selfless. Unlike, you know.
World do without these guys.
Exactly.
It's the equivalent to the people singing the fucking songs during the COVID shit on Twitter. It's the same fucking thing.
Exactly, the same quacking thing. Unlike Steven, who will canvas, our hero. The only streamer who does anything. Okay? He's the only streamer. Vosh hasn't even run away from a Sam Cedar debate and gotten a nickname for having cold feet for avoiding it. True! Cowards. Wait, has Destiny run away from a Sam Cedar debate? Oh wait, that was Stephen Crowder. Wrong Stephen! You moron!
Not that there's anything wrong with dono drives, like you can do it, but dude, it's just
Dude.
it's like the most embarrassing. Like I can't imagine me.
Not that there's nothing wrong with Dono Drive, but it's embarrassing and stupid, you morons. Dude.
Like if somebody come to me like, do you do a lot of political activism? And I'm like, yeah, I've done like 7 donation drives on my stream before. I stream.
Yeah, some donations, see? Yeah. Like Destiny. You don't do canvassing like Destiny does. You're not like super streamer. You're not like the real driving force between real change, okay? Steven builds bridges. Steven attacks across the aisle. Steven is empathetic. Steven talks to people that no one will talk about with to, okay? Like, Steven talks to Nick Fuentes. Does anyone have the guts to speak to Nick Fuentes? Okay? Do those stupid leftists, has any socialist created a platform for Mr. Gare? Has anyone talked to Mr. Gare as much as any of those fake socialists? Capitalist scum? No. Destiny does what nobody else will do, okay? When has Vosh talked to Lawrence Sovereign last? I don't remember that. Vosh does nothing, you morons. Idiots.
For 24 hours and my fans all
Yeah.
like that's political activism to you?
Exactly. It's pathetic. It's so pathetic. It's so sad. It's so pathetic. They don't do what Destiny does. Destiny is our real hero.
Like
Dude.
somebody door knocking or phone banking or doing literally any or going to like a fucking city council meeting.
Exactly. Like Destiny does. Destiny does the door locking. Destiny does the locking, and he goes to the council in Factorio, and he builds factories. Have I ever mentioned that Destiny builds factories? When has Vosh last built a factory? Like, I bet that Vosh does not even know what a factory looks like. And Steven has built like dozens of factories by now.
Meaning once in their fucking life. Like that's more political activism than sitting on your stream and trying to hype your clout up as much as possible.
Exactly, unlike Steven that does not do any of those things. Oof. Yeah, exactly, TK. Now you understand, which means you're less of a moron than the other people. You're less of a moron.
I guess a side effect byproduct of that is
True.
donating money to some shit that you don't even give a fuck about.
Yeah, you don't even give a quack about that stuff, you moron. Yeah.
And then the
I've never heard such a powerful message in my entire life.
oh, or the political activism they'll do if they can get famous people on their stream.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah. Quacking stream, famous people.
I did things with the senator. Oh, really? With one that nobody's ever heard of before, or just with?
Yeah, with those loser senators that nobody ever heard of before. And like Steven. Steven had the most famous politicians in the world on his stream. Steven makes a difference, not like those copycats.
Literally the most popular people you can find on Twitter.
True.
Like it's all clout sharking, dude.
True, it's all from Twitter. It's all about being a shark. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. It's so frustrating. It's true. Dude.
Are you okay with these things if they weren't shitting on you while they did it, Destiny? No!
Dude, yeah, no! I will call them out even harder. Of course.
I wouldn't be okay with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be okay with it. It's shit what they do. Are you a moron? You're a moron for even asking that question. You're the biggest moron. How dare you? You're banned, you idiot. You moron. You're barred from the stream. Somebody ban this moron. No, I'll do it myself. I'll do it myself. I ban you now. Okay? There you go. You're banned. You moron. This clicking on the keyboard was me banning you for being a moron. For asking this moron question. If they wouldn't shit on me, would I be okay with it? Who do you think I am? I'm Steven! I'm Steven! How dare you, moron?
Would you be okay with these things if they weren't shitting on you while they did it, Destiny? No, I wouldn't be okay.
No!
No, I wouldn't.
No, I think I rewind by mistake. But it's okay! Because it's worth hearing this stupid question once again. So we can hear what a moron this person is once again. Okay?
They're evil.
Yeah.
They're evil fucking losers.
Yeah,
They're
they're
all-
either fucking losers. Or quacking losers, I should say. But they're losers. They are evil. Unlike me. I'm not evil. I'm good. Yeah. Losers. Unlike me. I'm not a loser. I'm not a loser. It's those other streamers that are losers. Those socialist streamers that are losers.
like big keffals in disguise, okay?
Yeah, they're kefals. They are kefals. We already exposed today. So this is a fitting continuation of the stream. We have called out Kefal's lies. Kefal has lied for us for 10 years. And now, and now we have called her out, and now you morons can understand why Steven is the only person that you should ever listen to. Okay? Lucy, do you think that peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are the most convenient sandwiches? What do you mean, you moron? You moron! The only sandwiches you eat is the butter and ham sandwich. You eat, you moron! No! This is such a bad opinion that I have to ban you for it. What's your name? What's your name in the chat? TK, okay? You're banned. There you go, moron. You're banned for a year for this idiotic opinion. Moron!
That's
Moron!
all right?
You're banned!
Problem is that people have the capability to do so much in this world.
Yeah. Ham is bad? Mother quacker. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another moron in the chat. Another moron in the chat saying that ham is bad. Another moron. Another idiot. You're banned. You're banned, you idiot. Get out of my chat. Get out of my face. Moron. I can't believe. What the hell? Ham is bad. You don't know what you're talking about. Morons. Morons in the stream. Steven is so right. Everybody's a moron. People could do so much. They could do so much good. If they were even more... They should talk to Steven. What? Why did you ban, you moron? Call in now. Call in and talk to me. If you have the... You have 5 seconds to call in. Then you're banned. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you're banning you. There we go. Okay. Okay, so back to what Steven is saying. Like the only intelligent person on this stream. You know? The only intelligent person. Like, people have the ability to do so much. If they even did a fraction of what Steven does, the US would probably be like, the homelessness problem would be solved by now. If the lefty streamers would do even a fraction of what Steven does. But they won't, because they are quacking morons. No? You know? They're quacking morons, and they just want money.
For political causes,
Yeah.
for the things they believe
Causes.
in, and instead they take all those resources
Yeah.
and they're like dragons.
they're like evil double dragons, Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, they hoard
Yeah.
the wealth. in
Yeah,
their
exactly. They hoard the wealth. And like Steven, who does good in the world. You morons.
caves. They invite
Yeah.
you in. Okay,
Yeah.
they invite you into their
Yeah.
massive caves.
Yeah, exactly.
$500,000 cars, their $10 million
Yeah,
mansions,
exactly.
with the
Exactly. And you get caught in it, you morons. I can't believe. Why can't you understand what Steven's trying to tell you?
Cycle of porn stars that they have coming in and out that they fuck.
Oh yeah, exactly. The cycle of porn stars. Oh yeah. Sure, for sure.
500,000 a month they make on YouTube. They invite you in. They sit you around and they talk to you about the
Vosh, the porn star, famous. Yeah, exactly.
about the woes of capitalism and the greatness of socialism, and they say how amazing.
Vosh tells you all about the woes of capitalism as he fucks porn stars on every stream. Every stream, Vosh has sex with a different porn star, okay? Every stream, Vosh has sex with a different porn star every day. You morons. No Butterwagon. All of them. Xanderhal also has sex with porn stars. You moron, you're banned. What is your name? Butterwagon. I can't believe you're such a moron. Banned. Get out of my chat if you don't understand. If you can't even understand what Steven is saying here.
Amazing and important it is, and then they ask you to leave a gold coin on the table that they'll take later on over to a fucking charity to donate, and then you step out of their cave.
Exactly. And then you get out. You've given your money. Get out, mother quacker. Like, if you could only donate more to Steven, if only you donated more money to Steven, then the world would be a better place, okay? But instead you donate to those porn star socialists. I don't know.
They say, look at me. I'm the best fucking leftist
Exactly.
in the world. They're losers.
Yeah,
They don't do
they're losers. Like, they don't do what Steven does.
anything with their positions.
Exactly.
It's so unbelievably fucking cringe.
Yeah, it's so cringe that I cannot believe it.
To watch, like, all these right-wing people do so much activism for their causes, okay?
Exactly. It's so cringe to see so much wonderful activism from people like Lauren Southern, from people like Matt Walsh, from people like Libs of TikTok. It's so cringe to see so much wonderful activism from them. When those losers do nothing. Those losers. They do nothing, you morons. Xander Carr was actually a pretty based dude. Speaking of porn stars, in a lot of lefty streamer chats, no, you moron, no. Another moron in my chat, no. I don't think you're listening to Steven at all, moron.
These guys are out here blowing up substations, okay?
Exactly.
They're in the real world doing shit. Me?
Yeah, I'm like Steven. Have you seen what Steven does? I've already listed one thing. Change my mind. This is what Steven does, and Steven's about to do canvassing. Canvassing! Morons.
While Antifa on the left over here are
True.
dying from fucking infections from their earring piercings. All right.
Exactly. Antifa over here is dying from their ear infection. The Antifa Vaj, who fucks a porn star every day and lives in a $5 million mansion.
All right? It's not the same.
It's not the
Sides are
same.
not
Exactly. We're not the same. We're not the same.
built the same, all right?
Yeah.
It's not
We're built different.
good. It's not good.
God good. Exactly. Exactly. Not the same. They're built different. True.
DKK 200 to USD. How much money
Do something. Do something, you morons.
is that? $28. Says Ben Shapiro's beard is an
Oh my gosh.
attempt to degrade the culture. Wow. We don't make fun of other men's facial here. Bro, you
True.
crossed.
True. But thank you for donation for a good cause. Unlike donating to Vosh. Every time you donate to Vosh, you donate to a porn star. And you spread the degeneracy of sleeping with porn stars. You know? And not making the world a better place like Steven does. Morons.
a line. Don't
Man.
forget, you're only saying anything against them because you're jealous. True.
True.
Jealous.
Morons.
I wish I could be. That fucking stupid. But I'm burdened
True.
by my high IQ, like Lav and Mr. Girl, by the feelings of knowing everything about all the feelings of every person.
See, I told you. Steven is just burdened by his high IQ. I told you. Steven was born with a cross to bear, okay? With a curse of living among the mediocre people. Steven is trying to save you, and you're slapping his hand away. So ungrateful. So ungrateful. So pathetic.
Around them. It's the same for me. I'm like that guy in House that eats the dumb pills every day because he's just...
No, you're not that guy in the house. You are House. You solve the puzzles, and you know that everybody lies. You're the genius. You're House. You're House. You solve every problem of your genius. But you are bored. You're bored of the mediocrity of the world. So you need to solve. World problems are like puzzles to you to solve. Damn, it's almost like it's easier and safer for the right to engage in bullshit than left is. What? What did you say, Mio? 1050-70? What did you say? What's your name? Mio? Mio? 1570. Banned, you moron. You're banned. Get out of this chat. Get out of this community. You are banned.
so smart.
There you go. Oh, Steven is smart. Mia is banned.
Plasma device
For being a moron.
determines the amount of energy expended
True.
by the subatomic particles.
True.
That's me talking to you guys about politics, okay?
Exactly. That's Steven. And you don't even understand it. You don't even grasp the level of the genius that Steven operates on. Morons.
All points in time, my brain is processing ideas.
True.
It's so complicated. Your feeble
True.
minds couldn't even imagine it. Okay.
Exactly. You couldn't even imagine it. You couldn't even imagine it. That's why you criticize Steven. Because he's 10 moves ahead of you, and you don't even perceive one move ahead. Not to mention like 10 moves ahead, like Steven perceives reality. And that's why you keep like going to your fake socialist morons. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At all points in time.
Exactly.
Even when I'm sleeping. All right?
Exactly, right? Yeah.
You guys are the girlfriend there. That's why I have to play Factorio, to dumb my brain down, okay?
True. This is why Steven does nothing but play Factorio all day. To dumb an SM down to your level. It's your fault. It's your fault that Steven is not doing greater things.
Yeah, on your level.
True. True.
I hate my life.
True. Speeding facts, Steven. Speeding
Want
facts.
some juice? Yeah, if Kanye has his way, there's not going to be any juice left, if you know what I mean.
Ooh, another high-level joke from Steven. True, no, Steven is suffering from high IQ. Did you know that Steven's IQ is like 9,000? Nobody has ever... Like, Steven has the highest IQ in world's history.
Power station was shot up at just the right time that it could conceivably interrupt the drag.
Who is this idiot on the screen right now? This fake socialist, this capitalist that has sex with porn stars every day.
Oh, I can't talk. Dude, I'm just...
Dude, I'm so tired.
The past 4 days
Yeah,
are really shitty for me, so I'm super grumpy right now.
exactly. And you better be careful when Steven is grumpy, because he will use your high IQ to shit on you. Morons.
I was about to call for public executions, but that's Vosh's line, not mine.
True.
If you were part of the group of people that was spreading this,
Part of the what? Part of the what?
saying that the power station attacks were done to stop
Yeah.
a drag show, you are the exact same as a Nazi. You're the same, and you should be treated the exact same.
Yeah,
You're
you
that-
should be shot like a Nazi. Hola, chaotic.
kind of person. You're the same.
You're a
You would've been
Nazi.
a Nazi in another lifetime.
True.
It's what you are to your. It's okay. Embrace it.
Okay, yeah,
That's just what
embrace
you are.
it.
You're not smart. You have no media savviness. You're not. There's nothing.
Savanese? Wait, Savanese? Wait, you have no Savanese? Is this a... Oh, I'm not smart enough to understand, Stephen. So, Savanese, let's take that it's a new English word. Stephen has invented it. You don't have any media Savanese.
Thing about you that's worth like spreading anything on the internet.
True.
Like just
True.
stop.
Unlike Stephen. Yeah, stop, okay? Just stop it. Stop it.
I hate everybody. God, that Twitter news story came
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I've seen it too. Oh my God. My God.
Bro, that is like the on every part of Reddit. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
one person made a post
Bro.
on Facebook saying like,
Bro, dude, bro. Dude, bro.
this is what God intended.
Yeah,
And
God.
somehow that literally turned into an organized terror attack happening
Literally, bro.
on a power grid that shut down power for 40,000 people in order
Treated the same as a Nazi, so getting defended by destiny. True, bro. Dude, bro.
to stop one drag show.
One
And it was an attack on
drag
trans
show.
people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
It's like insane, right, bro? Dude, it's like insane. Right? Are you gonna say it's insane?
unless there's been some new information that's come out about it. but-
Exactly, it's totally insane, right?
Has there been any new information?
Has there been any new information? We all know there has not been any new information because we all know if there have been any new information, Stephen would have been the first one to have known about the new information. So we know that there has not been any new information. Morons. You're getting tricked by Stephen. Lol, the only problem Destiny has with Nazis is the reasoning process and the media literacy.
Or any new leaks? Or are we still going by that one f***ing Facebook?
One quacking post. Like morons. Stephen would have never made such a mistake. You okay? Stephen doesn't make mistakes.
What is the story? Can you elaborate more? Sure. I follow this sparingly,
sure.
although apparently more. Than,
Sparingly. And we know that when Stephen follows something sparingly, then we know that it's still more than 99% of people that follow it, okay? More than 99 people follow it, and it's just sparingly. So imagine if Stephen followed it seriously. Okay?
99% of people on Reddit have.
True, see? Stephen understands. See? Maybe I'm smart as well. Maybe I'm just a little smart. If I knew that Stephen, following something sparingly is more than 99% of people. But he added a qualifier on Reddit. But we know what he means. Stephen is just built different from you, me, and especially those porn star socialists. He seems to want them to be better at spreading their ideology, basically giving career advice to the worst of the worst. True.
But essentially, there was a power grid that was attacked,
Okay,
and
let's hear it from Stephen. I want to hear it from Stephen, my real source of news. I don't even watch or read the news anymore. Stephen gives me the real news.
somebody on some fucking Facebook. Fuck, we should just bring this shit up. Hold on.
Yeah, we'll bring this shit up.
Wasn't it 2 power stations that got shut up? Yeah, we have a big power station vulnerability, by the way. What am I looking for? Power station, attack,
Okay.
drag, show. This was the thread that went viral.
Okay.
Tonight, there are unconfirmed reports coming out of Moore County, North Carolina, of 3 substations being shot up with firearms simultaneously to cut power to a drag show.
Drag show.
Reportedly, nearly 40,000 people in Moore County are currently without power.
Wow.
Now, unless something else
What morons. What morons believe this?
has been posted,
Yeah.
one person on Facebook,
Facebook.
in a follow-up post, Rainey tagged Sunrise Theater where the drag show is being held and wrote, "God will not be
What a moron.
above what appears to be a photo of the building tonight during the power outage." Emily Rainey, a former Army officer who resigned after the Army launched an investigation into her... Army officer resigned after the Army launched an investigation into her participation in tonight, posted this about the power outage.
Give us the juicy details, Stephen. Give us the true version of events. Give us the real version of what happened. Give it to us, Stephen. Give it to us.
The power is out in Moore County. I know why. This person posted this saying, "I know why the power is out, and it's because God is punishing drag race people."
True.
And now,
Drag race. We all hate drag races. We all hate drag racers. This is by far the most Destiny content I have seen in a while, and the most I've enjoyed in longer. Yeah, because
people
Stephen is a great entertainer.
basically taken
Morons.
that Facebook post and
Yeah.
they've run with it and said, "Oh my God,
Yeah, oh my
this
God.
coordinated attack on these power substations was to shut
Exactly.
down a drag show."
Yeah. What morons. Who believed it? Only morons. You shouldn't watch Stephen more. Then you would not believe idiotic things. God. Dude. This is just so insane that people don't listen to Stephen more. Like drag races. God. Who cares about drag races? Exactly, Stephen. Exactly. Yeah, you said it, Stephen. You said it.
And now, like, the whole fucking internet
And the whole
has
quacking
run
internet.
with this narrative.
Yeah, the whole quacking internet. Like, it's insane. It's literally insane. But at least Stephen didn't run with it. Because Stephen is smarter than 99% of the internet. Okay? And Stephen just vaguely looked through this whole story. But Stephen is still more informed than 99% of quacking people on the internet. Okay? Morons.
It's like fucking insane.
It's really insane. Okay? It's fucking insane. Morons.
The power station stuff is really worrying. Man, I wish I could remember
Yeah, I wish I could remember what is, you know. Don't worry, Steven's IQ is high, so he will remember. Like, he will remember. It's just a little flourish that he does to keep you on your edge of your seat. I wish I could remember. And wait for it, he will remember. Wait for it. Wait for
really
it.
bad one in
Wait
was it
for it.
2013 or 2011.
Wait for it.
Oh, I think it was this.
Yeah, see?
I-
He remembered it. Steven's just being modest. Because he's not a moron. Only morons are not modest like Steven is.
I heard about this until I was doing reading around this attack a couple days ago in between blowing my nose, wanting
Steven was doing light reading on this between doing real activism, unlike fake porn star communists, and, you know,
to vomit and wanting to
Yeah.
be suicidal. April 16th, 2013, an attack
see? The world being full of morons is making Steven suicidal. Literally.
was carried out
Insane.
on Pacific Gas
Dude.
and Electric Company's Metcalf Transmission Substation in Coyote, California, near the border of San Jose. The attack, in which gunmen fired on 17 electrical transformers,
Wow.
resulted in more than $15 million worth of equipment damage, but had
Wow.
little impact on the station's electrical power supply. Apparently, they were able to bring in power from another area. But this
Wow.
was like a coordinated attack on some electrical substations, and I don't think anybody ever found. They never found out who was involved in this. They
Yeah,
had no idea.
see? It happened then. And did it have anything to do with a drag race in 2013? No, it didn't. So it clearly doesn't have anything to do with it now. It's insane,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. Dude.
I genuinely don't know. I only read this. Weren't the protests for the drag show really bad or something? I thought that's why people were correlating it. I haven't followed it though.
Oh, you're banned, you moron. What kind of a question is that? How dare you ask Steven such a question?
Someone attacked power substation. Really
Oh, I'm already this is so cringe.
yeah, we have like there's big vulnerabilities in power substations and shit getting attacked. Is there any confirmed reason for why these stations were attacked? I don't think we know yet, no.
Yeah, we don't know. If Steven doesn't know, then nobody knows. If anybody would know why this attack happened, trust me when I say Destiny would be the first person in the world to know. No one else. Nobody else would know.
I don't think anybody knows yet. What happened?
Yeah, I just told you. Yeah, ban them all, morons.
Just basically some people shot up 2 big transformers that cut power to like
The
40,000.
Transformers, more than meets the. I'm sorry. I just don't have an IQ of Steven, so I just made this song. I'm sorry, I'm not the streamer that Steven is.
People in some North Carolina city or something.
True.
But like everybody was saying that it was a planned attack to shut down the lights on one place that was having a drag show.
Yeah, which is insane.
And it sucks too.
Yeah.
This is like the biggest thing that sucks. This is why the people that do this are evil, okay?
Yeah, this is why people are evil. Unlike Steven, who's not evil or insane. Okay? Like, insane.
Like Vosh and all these people are Nazis, 100%.
Exactly, 100%. Vosh, 100% a Nazi. Hassan, 100% a Nazi. Zandarhar, 200% a Nazi, because his name sounds German. And you all know, if your streamer name sounds vaguely German, you're a Nazi. Oh wait, that makes Vaush a 200% Nazi as well. They are Nazis. Unlike Steven. He's trying to save the world. But you morons don't even see it.
They are Nazis. Terrorists, Nazis,
True.
arsonists, whatever word you want to use. Use all of the words. Racists,
Exactly,
whatever.
use all of the words. Against those morons.
The problem with people that do this is that now
The problem with people that do
what
this
should be
is-
happening right now is there should be an important conversation happening about how
Exactly. It should be an important conversation happening, preferably with Steven, because I think the problem with this is Steven is the only person capable of having these conversations. Like, everybody else is a backdrop, because Steven is the only person. Let's face it, Steven is more intelligent than 99% of the people in the space, okay?
easy it is to shut down power
True.
or do massive infrastructure damage
Exactly.
with small arms fire. Small
Yeah,
arms, okay?
exactly,
These are like
okay?
rifles and pistols you
Yeah.
can use to up
Yeah, exactly.
huge power grids,
Yeah.
right? It's a big problem. But now we don't get
Yeah.
to have that conversation. Now
Yeah.
it's a bunch of
The conversation has been shut down by those porn star craving socialists from Twitter.
non-binary losers
Yeah.
with pink
Yeah, exactly. The non-binary losers have hijacked this conversation now. Now the conversation cannot happen anymore. Even though Stephen would have gladly facilitated such an important conversation if it weren't for those losers.
hair online,
Morons and losers.
not blue hair, with pink hair online
Yeah.
and talking
Not blue hair. Blue hair is good now. Because it's the hair of Steven. I'm gonna show it, okay? I'm being very rude, actually. I'm hiding Steven. I'm being so awful. I'm being a moron now.
about how drag shows are being targeted and it's part of the trans genocide.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
actually disgusting.
It's disgusting. What transgenocide? Morons.
Like It's so stupid. Now, we don't get to
Stupid.
have the good conversation now.
Yeah,
Now we just have to listen.
exactly. We don't get to have the good conversation now that Destiny would facilitate. We don't get to have this now because of stupid loser, non-binary, idiot losers. Okay? So pathetic. If only Steven would be able to lead the conversations, not the losers. But here we are. We're in the worst timeline with those losers.
Listen to a bunch of virgin, fat, losing fucking morons online.
Yeah, exactly. Those quacking loser, fat loser losers. We're also losers. The losers. Yeah,
Screaming about how trans people are being genocided.
exactly.
And then that's it.
Spewing bullshit about the trans genocide. Losers. I hope they all die from their ear infections. Those losers.
It's just, I hate it.
I hate it so much. Oh, dude. Oh, no. Oh, dude. I hate it so much. Those morons. Steven, if you could only guide them somehow. Like, you're super intelligent. You're the leader of this space. Do something, Steven. Save us. I'm not as smart as you, so do something, Steven.
How the f are you supposed to secure hundreds of thousands of power lines all around the
Exactly.
nation? First of all,
Exactly. How are you supposed to have the important conversation? Okay, let's look. I'm gonna shut up for now. Okay, I'm interrupting Steven. I apologize.
nobody's talking about power lines. They're talking about the actual substations themselves.
Exactly, you moron.
Like all the major electricity is being brought in.
Exactly, moron.
You would have to secure every single fucking power line. Number one. Number two.
Exactly, number one.
I don't know. You just do it. If there's a need for it, we can do it. If there's
Yeah, exactly. Get good. Just do it. You idiot. It's good. You just do it, moron.
a need for it to be secured in the United States, it will get secured.
Exactly. If it needs to get secured, it'll be secured. Okay? If it wasn't secured, then I guess it just what they didn't want it to be secured. Moron.
Okay? Full
Okay.
fucking stop.
Yeah.
I don't care what
Full fucking stop.
random bullshit rage pope equation you want to pull out at me, but if
Exactly. You wanna pull some bullshit equations out of your ass? You wanna pull one smart one on Steven here? No way. You moron. Steven knows better. If it's about to be secure, then it's gonna be secure. What are you talking about? You're banned. You're banned.
it came down to whether or not we had power going to our f***ing hospitals and our
Yeah,
stores,
exactly.
Walmart and AT&T would be throwing billions of dollars into securing whatever infrastructure needed
Trillions of dollars. You moron.
to happen. It would f***ing happen.
Yeah.
Okay, we're the wealthiest country in the world. The only reason why we don't do shit is because there's not the will to do it. But when the will materializes,
Exactly, you moron. The only reason that we don't do it is because of those pink-haired losers that stop us from doing it. Those non-binary losers that keep us from investing into keeping it secure. If only we had the important conversation about keeping it secure, it would happen. But those fucking losers, non-binary, pink-haired porn star fuckers will not let us do it. Okay? Okay. Okay.
the materials will follow
Yeah.
every time, guaranteed.
Exactly.
It's not. I don't even have a question about it.
Yeah.
I'd be more confident about this than literally any other thing in the universe.
Yeah, you need multiverse. What are you talking about? Universe, multiverse. Neither multiverse. Well, I shouldn't be talking out of line. If it's universe, it's universe. Steven's smarter than me, so I shouldn't say multiverse. I'm out of line. Okay, I'm okay.
That if it was like, oh shit, tomorrow there's terror attacks on all of our f***ing substations, every
Exactly.
private security firm would be mobilized, every f***ing manufacturer.
Exactly, just like that. Just like that. Oh no, I have to unfreeze it. I'm such a moron. I'm such a loser. One moment, okay? Let me unfreeze the chat. Moron, loser. Is it unfrozen? Moron, loser? Let me see. Let's wait a bit. If it's unfrozen. Say something in the chat. Say something, chat. Moron. Loser. Okay, let's continue.
Of like coding materials and building materials, everything, it would happen. It would happen. Okay, I hope you enjoy 5x power bills. Okay, I would rather just have no power.
Show, and people
Loser.
associated with the far right were like tying it to the drag show. The obvious suggestion here, like at least to me, a clear implication is that this was
Yeah.
done as an act of terrorism to stop the drag show. And I want you to think for a second. I want you to just imagine, okay?
We're morons.
I think that we should have, you should get people that are trained using like the really, really old, like the slave owner.
Exactly. Old slave owner. Now he's spitting facts. Vosh talking about thinking? No, that's rich. From the porn star fucking pseudo-socialist that has $1 million mansion. Loser. Okay? He's a real loser. Why can't you all be smart like Steven? Exactly. What a loser.
There's whips who are really good at delivering whips of
Yeah.
like different strengths. And I think that there should be like a mathematical formula made where it's like the wrongness of your prediction
Exactly.
combined with the strength of the conviction that you had when you made it, and then that's like computed into some type of force thing. And then when you're wrong and confidently wrong about things, you are sent to this area to just have the shit beat the out of you.
Exactly. Morons. I think Steven would be the only person in the world that would never get beaten, okay? But Steven's smarter than 99% of you losers. Morons. Yeah.
When you're wrong on things, I feel like that would just be the best. And then when you're doing things on YouTube, when
exactly. The best.
you're like doing news stories stuff, you wouldn't get shit wrong so much, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
if you
You would be more correct. Like Steven. Steven is correct all the time, you know. Like with the woke orthodoxy in academia, right? Yeah.
got something wrong,
Moron.
you'd be very cautious about it. You're like,
Exactly.
there might
Steven is always cautious. Steven is always cautious about what he does. This is why he's not a loser.
be like a conspiracy here where it was done to stop a drag show, but I'm not 100% sure. And then it's like, if you're wrong, it's like, oh, because you didn't have a lot of strength in your conviction.
Steven doesn't do wild conspiracies. Steven only does factual things, like, you know, people being fired from academia for not towing the line to the woke orthodoxy. Steven only deals in facts, not in conspiracy, like you losers.
Even though you're wrong,
morons, idiots.
It's okay. You're fine, you know? But when you're on saying some wild shit and you're like,
some wild shit.
it's so obvious what happened here. It's so obvious.
Yeah, so obvious what happened here. Steven never does that. Steven never says that it's obvious. Steven never does wild shit claims like you losers. Okay?
These guys had fucking training.
Exactly.
I bet they had Blue Lives Matter stickers on their fucking car.
Yeah.
I bet these fuckers shut that substation up just to cut the power to the fucking LGBT.
You tell us, Steven. You tell us how it is. You tell us, Daddy.
Bro, you're getting whipped.
Bro.
I'm sorry.
Bro, dude, you're getting beaten up by the system set up by Steven. Steven is your mother quacking fact checker, okay?
Because it would only take like 2 whippings, I think, for the next time you go to give a take, you're getting all excited and you lean back in your chair like, ooh, you got like a big ass fucking scar back there when you almost died after your last whipping.
Exactly. Steven will deliver your whipping, okay? Maybe you would think about your takes more, like Steven does, if you would take your whipping, okay? Moron.
And you're like, okay, maybe I should be a little bit more careful this time before I say some really stupid.
My opinion should be more in line with Steven's. Maybe I should be more correct, like Steven is. Maybe I shouldn't be a moron, a loser.
Shit, this is gonna get my ass beat, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe. I
Maybe.
think that would be cool.
Cool. Yeah, I think it would be.
I will say,
You know what? If Destiny thinks it would be cool, then I agree. It would be cool.
and I'll couch my own opinion. It could be the case that some power substation was targeted for a drag show. It's possible.
It's
we just
possible. It's really possible. But if Steven doubts it, then is it really what happened? I think we all know that it's not.
actual evidence of it.
Yeah.
I know that really triggers people when I'm like, we need evidence.
It triggers people. Can't you be more like Steven, who never gets triggered? Can't you be more stoic, like Destiny? Well, I guess your IQ is not high enough for that. Losers. Pink-haired losers, non-binary, fat.
This happening, but like, you don't really lose
Virgins.
anything by waiting for the evidence to surface.
Exactly,
You know?
you virgin losers. Yeah.
I want you to imagine being in a town.
Oh, another porn star, pseudo-socialist capitalist.
Experiencing a power outage and then learning
Yeah.
from your phone, phone battery satellite connection. Oh yeah, why is the power
Exactly.
out? Far-right terrorists shot a local power station and cut power to everyone because one building was hosting a drag show. And now in the dark, in a
Exactly.
city without power, the guys who
What
shot
a moron. What a moron.
up that power station are roaming around, unknown and unsurveilled.
Insane.
Can we perceive what this means?
Did anybody else get shot? Did anybody else die? Did anything else happen? Do we even know
Exactly. Did anything even happen? What a moron.
it's a far right group? Do we even know that it was for the drag show? Do we know any of this?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like so much fear. Okay, don't link me anymore, Voss shit. I can only handle like
Exactly. Don't link me anymore, boss. Voss porn star.
so much. Jesus, please stop. Don't link me anywhere, this
Jesus.
fucking clown. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Oh
Please
my
stop.
god, yes,
Average
stop.
tier 4.
Come on, stop. Don't do it.
LSFer
No,
is
come
going for
on.
your throat for that
Come on, stop. Stop.
Vosh comment. Okay.
Stop.
And
Yeah.
hopefully the cancer goes for Vosh's throat. I don't care. All
I
right.
don't care. Yeah.
Vosh has never
Exactly. I don't care. Vosh has never done anything for anyone or anything. Okay? Vosh has never done anything for anyone. Ever. I don't care.
done anything for any progressive movement his entire life. okay?
True.
None of
His
these
entire life. None of those quackers have. Unlike Steven, who will do canvassing, okay? Mother quackers. You better appreciate Steven while you still have him. Because one day, you will lose him. And then, who you will be left with? No one. Okay? Mother quackers.
fucking losers do. Hassan doesn't
Yeah.
either. I don't need some
Fucking losers. Only Steven does anything. Because he's not a fucking loser. He's not a fat virgin. Fat virgin, non-binary loser.
moron whose excuse is literally,
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to get on an airplane. He's not gonna do
Exactly.
any politically advantageous shit ever for his side, ever.
Exactly.
Okay?
Ever.
When I'm gonna look at fucking the Lauren Southerns and the Nick Fuenteses, like making moves and doing all this shit, these are the
Exactly. When I have to look at Nick Fuentes, Lauren Southerns, who are amazing, who do great stuff, which is why I support them personally. Yeah, exactly. Unlike those losers.
laziest fucking losers ever. And this
Exactly.
fucking dipshit, after I dropped $50,000 on a weekend in Georgia, wants to say, oh,
What a dipshit. What a dipshit. After I dropped so much money, what a dipshit.
Destiny's probably just doing it because he's spiteful.
What a
Out of here,
dipshit.
dude. Go throw
Yeah.
a horse cock.
Yeah.
Oh, also LSF hates me now
Go throw a horse porn star like you do every day. Okay? A horse porn star
because like all of the fucking Miz
in
kids.
your mention. You pseudo-socialist capitalist scum.
have been scattered to the wind, but
Exactly.
they found themselves. There's like been a big like Mizkif diaspora that's like
Yeah.
all congregated on the LSF. So anytime clips of me come up, they're always there and they're like, Destiny, isn't that the guy who's boyfriends and loves Adriana and Train and Apollo
Exactly.
Kill, where all they do is invent horrible rumors all day
Yeah.
to bring down the streamers? Like, F them, I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this little segment, then subscribe, press a like, and I guess become a Patreon. Okay? So I guess we had a little bit of fun with this little Steven segment, and yeah. I hope you enjoyed. And there we are. There we are. There we are. Things got heated. Steve says that things got heated. But it's all because of those losers, right? My gosh. Let me refresh. Oof. My gosh, gigglers. So I guess we will play a bit more Final Fantasy now, right? Or no? What do you think? Where's the chat? Why can't I see? Yeah, our lefties are motherfuckers. It's true. Why is the chat? Why can't I see the chat? Okay, now I can see the chat. Oof. Live chat. My gosh. Okay, I guess we're just playing a game. This was the most intense thing that I've done for a long time, I guess. What did you think? Did you enjoy? Should I do more Steven segments like this? Ba, 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 ba. I think this was a win. I think this was overall a win for us. Fun little family-like segment about Steven. I think I will tag Steven when I upload this. What do you think? Should we tag Steven in this segment? See, Valhalla, I told you, like, I was funny. Steven is so intense and so weird. The weirdest part about Steven is that 90% of what he was saying, the 90% of what he was saying applies to him. Like, he complains about people, like, isn't he the person that just plays Factorio 9 hours per day? He cries about people having to be whipped for creating conspiracy, when he was the one crying about the woke orthodoxy in the academia, and he ran away from his debate with President Sunday about it. Like, I don't know. I would say that there's a bit of projection involved, right? Oh, wait. What do you think? Like, Steven ironically thinks that he's the smartest person in the world or something. Like, my gosh. I was literally joking when I was jokingly saying that he will say now that I'm more informed than 99% of people, and then literally 3 seconds later he says, I'm more informed than 99% of people, you know? My gosh. I've only checked it briefly, but I'm already more informed than 99% of everyone. This is so wild. Like, Steven's actually right. I'm beginning to think that I should make like a... Okay, this is like a serious poll right now. Press 1 if you would like parodying Steven to be like a regular segment on the Lucy Has a Channel. Would you like me to do the Steven parody thing more often? This is your time to vote. 1 for yes and 2 for no. Is once enough, or would you like this to happen more often? Is this thing worth repeating? Okay, I guess we'll be doing that. I hope she doesn't attack the chocobo. What the? Okay. It's a chocobo. That failed. I'm not strong enough. We got ourselves a recurring segment. My gosh. I'm actually gonna call this the Steven Universe segment. Yeah, I am. What the hell? Okay. I didn't even have time to react. Oh. Is this my ticket to growth? Is mocking Steven's content my ticket to growth? I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair. Also, arrange. Disha greens. There you go. True, TK. That's true. I should get more subscribers today. For real? My gosh. Is this for real? Okay. Big guys now. Yes! Come on! Alright. Oh no! Who did this? Sephiroth. Did Sephiroth do this? This Sephiroth guy is pretty strong, I'd say. Amazing. Amazing! Lucy, if I were to hypothetically write a theme song intro for you to use as you like, what type of music would you want? Something that you think fits Lucy's personality, okay? Watch a few of Lucy's wacky... Okay. This is how it works best, okay? Watch some of my stuff and watch how I act, watch the whole atmosphere, and write something that you believe, that you feel would fit me, okay? What do you think? I think this is the best way to allow you your creation freedom, you know? What do you feel, what music do you feel, do you think about or do you feel when you see Lucy Aze? It's true. I think it's better than me saying you should do this, you know, because it won't let your creativity to flow. You know? It's true. Quack, 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 quack. This was some intense content, wasn't it, gigglers? Peter, you get a lot of ethers in this one. I swear, none of the compilation, playing this game, none of the compilation has the atmosphere of the original Final Fantasy VII, okay? None of the other Final Fantasy games have even a little bit of the atmosphere of the original Final Fantasy VII. This is my hot take for the day. None of the compilation feels like the original game. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. Come on. Jamie, did you see the Steven segment just now? Oh my gosh, that was wild. Okay. Phew. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I'm gonna upload it as a segment, don't worry. We're gonna be able to relive. We're gonna be able to relive this segment doing a premiere. When we do a premiere, we will be able to relive those memories. Yeah. Also, you know, the remake says a bad story. You know, Sephiroth going from mysterious villain that seems pretty strong to a joke that you defeat at the end of Midgar segment. You know? Yeah. I mean, we can. Let me see. There's a dungeon here. I guess we can. Can we send you some dungeoning? Okay, let's do this. Let's do this is sexism. Like, okay, before Jamie calls in, I have to once again address the elephant in the room, okay? The elephant in the room is that it's not just high fidelity, okay? Whereas this high capabilities of mother cores it's not just about high capabilities. Like I'm gonna go into the menu. Look at how Cloud is drawn here. Like, wait a minute, I have to repeat this time and time again, okay? Cloud Strife. Like, it's not just the graphics getting better, it's the whole art direction changing, okay? Look at this. Look at this. This is Cloud from the original. This is Cloud from the remake, okay? This isn't just the this is not just graphics getting quote-unquote better. This is the whole art direction being different, okay? Going from this to this is not just graphics getting better. Just like getting from this, okay, just like going from this, just like going from this to this, okay, is not just graphics being better. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Going from this to this is not just graphics getting better. Do you know what I mean? I hope you understand what I mean by this, right? going from this to this is also not just a matter of graphic capability getting better. Do you understand my feelings on this? Do you know what I mean? Do you understand the topic of art direction versus fidelity? Yeah, like it has more of like its own identity, you know? Yeah, exactly. I think so as well, you know? Like going from this to this. Like this, this. Like they're not even like the same character anymore, you know? Do you know what I mean? What do you think? Does that make sense? Okay then. I hope you understand me and my feelings. Feelings! And now we will get our special guest. Our special guest. Who is a real giggler? Let me see. Where is my special guest? Who always well. Yeah, exactly. Modern Sephiroth acts like he's Cloud's jilted, obsessive ex-boyfriend. Exactly. And this is so annoying. Like, this is because... Final Fantasy VII was at its core a game with a narrative again about the death, dealing with loss, you know, about philosophical narratives, right? And then they decided to do the compilation, and Final Fantasy VII became a never-ending story about nothing. A never-ending soap opera about nothing. I will just call you. Final Fantasy VII just became a soap opera about nothing, while it was a perfect, self-contained narrative about death and loss. Because the creator of after Hironobu Sakaguchi's mother died, he was thinking a lot about death, and it culminated in the story of Final Fantasy VII, and the remake, of course, destroyed all of those themes. You know? Yeah, Wind Waker is great. Wind Waker also aged so well. You know? Okay, let me see. I'm gonna call... Where's the politics thing? So many people just tell me that... One last thing. So many people kept telling me once people kept telling me that this and this, and where is the face? Where are the faces things? So many people kept telling me that this and this. That these things are just identical, but it's just graphics getting better, and that's just not true. You know? Exactly. It's true, TK. Okay, I have to call you. There we go. Which one is you? Oh, Jamie Elizabeth, that's you. OMG. OMG. We have to turn this off. Call you. Let me see if you're audible. Oh. Yeah, I love pixel art. Pixel art games age so well. Are you?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, Gaylor.
Yeah, let me just make sure you're audible here. Say, come on.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Echo? I can hear echo.
Oh, okay, I'll turn down my...
You're under arrest.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah. Okay. So now introduce yourself. Tell us everything about yourself.
Everything?
Yeah, of course. Everybody wants to know.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody wants to know who you are, especially Jacob, okay? I have a feeling
Okay.
Jacob especially wants to know who you are, okay?
Okay.
It's true.
Yeah, so I am...
Tell me.
Well, Lucy knows who I am, but,
Who are you?
so, yeah, so, like, I'm US based,
Yeah, based. We all know you're based, but tell us who you are.
based. So I'm 36. I'm US based. I'm in the Midwest region. I'll go ahead and say that like I'm from like the Missouri.
36 and based.
Yeah, I'm trans. I'm a trans woman.
Yeah, you're not one of those non-binary finger losers.
No, non-binary people aren't losers.
It's
And
okay.
what's
We're doing
and
a bit.
what?
You have to see the segment that was before this to understand.
Yeah, and we can kind of talk about like how even cis sexism affects non-binary people. This was it's kind of
Okay,
like
but
a...
first you'll have to introduce us to the concept. Okay, let's take
Sure,
it
like
one step at a
it's a
time.
very
Okay.
right. It's very interlinked with transphobia, right?
Right.
But it's different. It's a different type of discrimination.
Okay. So what is cis sexism? Tell us what the term means. Let's start here.
Yeah. So
Hello?
what I'll do, let me see.
You're roboting out a bit.
Oh shoot. Hang on. Give it a minute.
Okay, I'll give it a minute and then I will giggle. Gosh, I wonder if we will be able to reach 500 today. Chrono Trigger is like super... We will play Chrono Trigger on stream, don't you worry about that.
Okay, it should be like Wi-Fi connected now.
You should always be connected by cable.
I know, but I can't.
You can?
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better. Okay, tell us about cis sexism.
Let me send you this article so you can... I don't know if you want to bring it up.
The article? Is it a link to a page?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one
Hey.
moment. Oh my gosh, Discord, please. My phone is dying. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna close YouTube.
Oh. Yeah.
Don't do this to me. I'm so sorry, Lizzie.
This. Oh, yeah. Keep them busy. There's a Fantasia. We also play Star Ocean.
Why is my phone being so horrible?
Let me see. Browser. Oh, what is the browser? Boom.
Okay, forget it. I'm just gonna go off. I'm not gonna be able to. The main thing here
Explain
is,
it with your own words.
yeah, I'll do my best here without.
What is cis sexism? Explain it to me. I don't get it. Is it a
Right.
spice? Is it a country? What is it?
The best way that I can understand, the way that the way it's evolved even.
Let's start with what it is. What it means.
It starts off with it basically starts off with the belief,
right,
that trans people don't exist.
Okay, that's a wild claim to make. So let's go
Right.
from here.
But you understand,
so basically people that claim to be trans are just delusional or something?
Right, yeah, it's just like they're not real. These people are delusional, they're mentally ill.
Right, so basically cis sexism is what feeds into the so-called gender critical movement, right?
Correct, yeah, it's very, bioessentialistic, it's very it works off the notion that oh, you must be just
confused.
A trans woman is just a homosexual man that is just delusional or whatever.
So a trans woman that likes women is just like a straight man?
Right, yeah, they don't see it as real, they just see it. They're very bioessentialistic, so that
how do they
whatever you're, yeah.
Okay, so I guess the first question would be, how do they square that belief with the whole consensus of the medical world?
They don't care about it. Listen, they don't read it. They don't care. They think it's all fake science. It's phony.
Fake news. So what's the real science?
These are people that really don't even care to read any. They will either come up with their own studies, or they will. I mean that's what gender criticals are. They'll use anything that fits their narrative of, and even going back to studies that have been disproven, or everything that we went through the whole ex-gay movement and everything else. They'll just bring back up. Obviously that trans people just need to be it's like you see it pop up in the UK again, where it's like the gender exploratory therapy stuff, where they think, it buys into this whole notion that it's just like, oh, you're just confused about your sexuality. You're just trans women are just, and it even goes into how it just eliminates bi people, it buys into whole biphobia and everything because they assume that trans women are just homosexual men or something, and it's just crazy. Like ignores it ignores even bi people.
So how
A
does
number
that?
of levels.
So how does that belief actually? How
So,
do they square the existence of non-binary people?
and so for instance, the best way, the reason I like want to talk about it is like, how it's different from transphobia in a sense. They're similar. It's hard for them to actually deny, and like in the modern day, it's hard for them to actually deny that trans people exist, but they want to anyway. They think they'll go back and they'll buy into all this narrative that it's just like they're just mentally ill, they just need help, they just need to be conversion therapy back into their cis world, and they don't need treatment. The way it affects trans people differently than transphobia is what I have come to notice, and especially with like gender critical movements, is like they're not and it's written into the bills, right? They're not saying in all of these bills, like spewing out like garbage throughout the country. They're not saying we wish to ban trans women from sports.
Right.
Trans people are not mentioned in the bill. What they are doing is writing cis sexism into the bill.
But
they're invoking all these biology. They're not recognizing trans people as trans people. They're not targeting trans people. They're erasing.
Isn't that still a form of transphobia at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's very similar. It's like well, how can you not recognize that trans people exist? Well, it's like, well, easily we just write you out of existence.
Yeah, but that is at the end of the day transphobia, no?
Yeah, it's similar. It's so similar. But if you were just being transphobic, it would be easy to identify. If you were to say, it would be discriminatory. You would say,
but it is discriminatory.
You would literally write in the bill, we wish to ban trans women from sports.
Yeah, but it is discriminatory by.
And that's obviously discriminatory. Yeah, exactly. So you'd be like, well, you can't just like that's just discrimination on trans people.
Like, think of it like this. Like, this is how we think of systemic racism. It also does not explicitly mention people of color, of black people, but it's still systemic racism.
It's the systemic part of it where they're trying to just like say, well, you don't actually exist. Like, so we're just gonna write you out of.
So it's still transphobia on a systemic level,
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. And that's really what is so eliminationist about.
It's more insidious.
Yeah, it's more insidious. It's more.
And that makes it more dangerous.
And it's easier to pass.
Yeah, that makes it far more dangerous because a person that does not see it can say, but this bill is just a harmless bill that wants to make sure that sports are fair or whatever else you want to say, right?
Yeah, it's invoking biology, and they're not labeling trans people as trans people. They're not saying.
Yeah, they're just saying we want sports to be fair for girls, for example, right? So we want those biological. Of course, those things are also. Of course, those things are also pretty arbitrary and oftentimes hurt cis women as well. Like, the testosterone level things. There are cis women that are sort of excluded from sports on those bases and discriminated against. There are a whole slew of articles that's especially against black women. That's and racism enters into this as well. When people will bigots will jump on it and say, "Oh, this is a guy," to about a cis woman. So those things are very.
The whole gender critical movement assumes that it wants to say, well, trans women are just men, and that whole they don't.
But it goes as far. It can go as far as to start calling cis women men as well.
Oh yeah. It has disastrous effects, of course. Ripples. Yeah. The other the other thing that it assumes, it's not just that they don't see trans people as real.
Mm-hmm.
What is the effect of that? What it assumes is it says that the way that they write it, like the bills that are coming into my state right now, it says.
All right. Can you talk about those bills?
What they do, the way that they write this bill is they say it assumes that everyone is. It basically assumes that everyone is cis.
Right.
And gender.
Fruit says, I'd say it marks a shift in rhetoric rather than some sort of an emerging ideology. I think I would agree.
They're trying to rewrite what gender is and everything.
Yeah, or rather they try to
fit
it into a specific thing that was the norm in a specific society, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was not the norm always across the board. Let's keep this in mind, right?
Yeah. So what it does is assumes everybody is cis, and this is a trans healthcare bill where they'll fight with this child abuse, and if you treat trans children up to 18, and we'll take you away and ship you away and everything else.
Yeah, because let's keep in mind that
it's obviously wrong. I'm going to put it in layman's terms for this bill, but what they do is they say, well, it's obviously wrong to gender transition a cis child because everybody is cis.
Right. Let's keep in mind that even the term cis is pretty emergent, right? They're like if we assume that there were cultures in which we had third genders or even more, then all of them were sort of there were cultures in which if you had the third gender, then that was also part of the norm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the norms were not the same everywhere. And even in Judaism you have 6 of them or more.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean it's a complete. I mean, the people that sponsor the bill, their views are specifically that they believe that trans people don't exist, that they're not real. These people are just mentally ill, basically. Yeah. It's just these are their views when they write these are the sponsors of these bills. Yeah. They're not people that are well, we need to protect the children and
yeah, of course.
And of course, no, these people that sponsor these bills are a combination of people that want to enforce biblical values that have teamed up with gender critical people that work off of the notion that this whole thing is just craziness and trans people don't actually exist and this is just harming children. They start from the notion that we'll just write trans youth out of existence first.
Yeah, they basically erase the group from existing, erase the category, right?
Yeah, they'll just write you out of existence
Right.
as a trans youth. You just can't. You
cannot exist.
even the more innocent people that will like be voting on this thing will be like, well, maybe we're right. Maybe some of these people are right, and like we should like be cautious with this, and like maybe people can't know their gender until 18 years old. This is like completely ridiculous.
Yeah, right. Because we already have a lot of knowledge about this, right? It's not something that has not been observed.
Mhm.
And
it's not to say that like all trans people will realize their gender at a younger age or anything, but a lot of trans people do. And
but a lot of people go into like long periods of denial.
I mean, the way that they have
Like
studies
the
about
way certain norms work. Many people will have thoughts about themselves when very young, but then they will be basically forced into a period of
and it's hard to put
being in denial about it, right? They will
it's hard to put words to it.
convince themselves into thinking they're cis,
Yeah, especially if you've grown up into like literally an indoctrinated environment like me, where it's
like
right-wing Christian ideology and
yeah, like I would think that's the case for me for sure.
the whole spiel, right? And you're just,
or if your whole country is like that,
you've got feelings all the way since you were a kid, but
right, but you sort of were that you sort of convinced yourself that maybe those feelings are not correct.
Yeah, you try to I've
that you should
my experience, I won't go through my whole experience, but like a lot of people that have been like grown up in these environments, and what they end up doing like they did before with like the whole, oh, so now you're trans at like 20,
yeah, exactly, or more,
or whatever. Okay, like this must be rapid onset gender dysphoria. This must be whatever narrative they've constructed over the years.
Like for example, I know,
aside from just a survivorship bias.
Yeah, exactly. Or like I met friends we didn't make a movie, but like my friend's current partner, fiance, I think she said, I'm pretty pro LGBT because since I'm from an LGBT family, my mom came out as a trans woman now at 60 something plus,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She decided to transition at 60 plus, So sometimes it just takes time to get to terms with those sort of feelings, And I asked the girl, so how do you feel about your parents changing, like right now, And she said, wow, it must have been so difficult all those years, So it's pretty cool to have like a child that's so understanding, right?
Yeah.
That her first answer was that it must have been so difficult to keep it bottled in for so many years.
Yeah, it was. I mean, heck, it was hard for me. Just the third of that. It's devastating to lose like a third of your, like, if you think about it, like from the age of 1 to, like, I'm gonna say from the age 2 to 3,
right,
which is when people start to recognize differences in like when there's studies how everybody starts to develop gender differentiation. Trans or cis, everybody recognizes gender differentiation starting at the age 2 and 3. Gender and sex differentiation, noticing different things about the world, like,
Right.
oh, mom, dad, the girl, heck, mom goes like this, dad goes like this, potty
Right.
training. You're differentiating things in your mind that young.
Yeah.
And whether you have all the words for these things is, that develops over time.
Right.
But you start to recognize the difference, and people line up in different lines. Like, heck, when I was in school, you were forced to line up in different lines, and you're forced into this world where, whether you feel comfortable in it or not, you're going to be lined up into different things that, whether you just feel a general discomfort about lining up into the boys' line,
Right.
like
Or
you're a boy, you go over there. Like, what do you? No, I don't want to. But
right.
like these aren't. We're not saying that for sure you're this or that, but you've got that discomfort. You've got these things can easily develop just like anybody.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
If like a cis girl was to be like, no, you go into the boys' line, you'd be like, what are you talking about? No, it's weird.
Yeah. Even cis people like that have like can be more boys, so to speak, and want to play with the boys, but there's still this divide, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's why certain schools are actually in certain countries for sports, while we're at the topic of sports, decided to just let boys and girls play together when it comes to soccer/football, at a school level. Because it
So
doesn't
um,
matter.
yeah. So like I find it just so crazy that we've gone like when I was growing up, I had nothing.
Right.
I had nothing. There was no talk about it in school. There was no talk about it. Any representation on the internet or in media was
Right.
negative, and like I didn't exist.
Right. Well, you
It
can
didn't
take
change,
it.
it didn't change the fact that I'm me, and I
Right.
had the feelings, and I couldn't explain it. I felt like an alien,
Right.
Um, growing up in that, and then being like, God, I wish it was so much better for every other trans person. Like, I
Well,
don't want any other trans person to go through what I did.
the US is still light years ahead right now when it comes to
And
it, like compared to Poland. Light
yeah,
years ahead.
and we started to have acceptance in schools where we would have safe spaces. Like, I saw there was this period where we started to give people space
Right.
and talk about these things, and it wasn't a big deal. And then all of a sudden you've got this right-wing reactionary movement where it's just like, oh, it's groomer and all,
Yeah.
the whole narrative all back again. And it's just like, what the hell? Like, absolutely crazy to and their thoughts are just like, what it does is like this whole like, and a lot of this has come over from the UK. I J.K. Rowling, all this gender critical movement. It's a lot of it's come from the UK over to the US. It's spilled over because we're
Well,
globalized.
the
A lot
far
of people
right,
forget we're so
the
globalized.
far right movement is a very international project.
Yeah. We're very globalized. So when you look,
Yeah.
like I'll look into how these gender critical movements work all over the globe,
Right.
and they just talk to each other. You've got J.K. Rowling talking to Matt Walsh. You've got
Yeah. Of course.
Twitter, and it's a literal Nazi cesspool now,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah.
But they've got their narrative. You've got like different detransitioners that have started a whole X-trans movement
Yeah.
that are coming back out and saying, "Oh God, that was so wrong." They're retransitioning. They're speaking out against it, like Kai, and it's just the way that they want to frame it is just like this. It's like the whole Nazi experiments, and like it's all crazy. And, they'll make it as gross as possible to get people's disgust factor into it.
Right. Yeah. That's a strong factor. Yeah.
And they're thinking that this is just something that people don't actually feel, and like they're just delusional, and trans people don't exist. That's their motive. It's genocidal in its nature.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to notice more than just like trans people or transphobia.
Oh.
It's not just like, well, I don't know about like, I've never been around a trans person, but I feel weird about having a trans woman. Are they actually a woman? Do they behave like are they actually a man? I don't know. I feel strange about this. Like I'm a little bit, or I just don't want trans people around me. They're fine. They're human beings, but like I'm a little bit phobic. I'm a little scared of trans people around me.
Yeah, but
But
transphobia
they're recognizing that they're trans. They're recognizing trans people as they talk about it in a transphobic sense. They're not saying trans people don't exist and we need to write them out of existence.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think even people that perfectly well and know and understand that trans people do exist will still use the narrative of pretending that trans people don't exist. So it doesn't functionally matter if people believe that trans people exist or not. What matters is that it's a convenient narrative to use.
It's more the back end effect of it and how
exactly.
Yeah. The back end effect is like, well, since feel this way, I'm just going to think about it in a very essentialist way. I'm going to.
Oh, it's not even about feeling like this. It's just a useful tool to more effectively erase trans people. You can even feel that the trans people do exist, but even if you feel that they do exist, it will still be a more effective tool in your arsenal to pretend that trans people are not real.
Right. Yeah, the effect it has, and this is why I want to talk about it. We need to recognize the fact that people aren't just being transphobic. They're not just writing bills that say we need to ban the trans.
Yeah, never mind that the Nazis literally burned books on gender research and sexuality.
And that's part of the genocidal nature of it. Like it's not. They know they can't write bills that say ban the trans person.
Right.
Because it's obviously discriminatory.
Yeah. So it has to be discriminatory in a non-obvious way, of course, yeah. Like we already have precedent with this when it comes to people of color, yeah.
Yeah, and you can't, and the reason we can't let any of them pass, we have to fight them vigorously, no matter what it is.
Yeah, of course.
What we have to explain to people is, okay, I understand you may have reservations about trans people in sports, but oh my God, like that is like so superfluous, because what you need to, like, if you are talking to people around you, you're trying to advocate for like just stop bills in your area. Like you need to be like, look, we've gone from trans sports to banning all trans healthcare and banning them out of like banning discussion out of schools, banning them out of like bills on the table to ban us out of private life.
Banning social transition, banning
What they're
parents
trying to
taking their children to a specialist. Yeah.
and just talking to people very viscerally about like that, where it's
Yeah.
like it's not like we understand like you've got these like if you're talking to a normie, we
Right.
understand you've got like these reservations in sports, and I mean think about it. How many trans people actually participate in sports? Like this isn't the be all end all, but what they're doing with these bills is they're separating us. They're saying you're different, and then that's how they get their claws in, and then they wipe us out of existence because they're trying to say that they're trying to put the wedge in there.
Yeah.
And they're writing cis sexism into those trans sports bills where it says, "Oh, you're biologically this, everybody's biologically this and that," and like and they ignore gender altogether. They ignore.
Well, they actually also ignore the biological realities of what sex is, but that's a whole different thing, right?
Yeah, and political categories. Like this isn't how feminism started. Like,
well, of course not, because
the reason
of course not,
feminism started is because women, cis women, like they said, look, I'm more than my biological function.
Yeah, of course. Like the division of sex and gender started with feminism in a big way, right?
And that's how I talk to like a lot of like the people around me, like or just like cis women that are just like, I don't know about this stuff. I'm like, look, you gotta wake up. Like this isn't how we came up with like women as a political force.
Yeah.
Like you were like women were unable to vote. They were unable to. They had no bodily autonomy. They could not own property. They were simply a biological function to be the
mothers.
Breeding pod and mother. Like that was it. That's all you were until women said, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
And you're going to respect me as a human being. I'm this category. Despite what you're not going to boil me down to this.
Yeah.
And that started feminism.
Yeah.
So like
fighting sexism, right? Like it's like
yeah,
in the famous.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing, and
it's like
feminism has evolved.
Like in the famous book that I always want to talk about, Feminism is for Everybody by Bell Hooks.
Yeah, and I mean that's how everything started. Where we're just like, and they just want to boil
and they
everything
just want
back
to erase the progress. Yeah.
Yeah. Feminism over the years became very like LGBT inclusive and wanting to break down barriers.
Yeah,
and
because that's what it's all about, destroying sexism all across the board. Yeah.
And of course, gender criticals are anti-feminist.
No, they're very sexist to begin with, you know.
I've come across, I've worked hard and talked to a lot of.
I mean, there's a reason why they align so much with the right wing, right?
But like your average cis woman today, like your average cis white woman in America, they're not. You'll find like if you talk to them.
Yeah, because
they're not.
An average woman is not a gender critical extremist, of course.
No, they're really not. Even in like.
I mean, it's in the name, radical, right?
Yeah, even in like in the Midwest and like the South, they just most women understand the concept of bodily autonomy. They've been a little bit brainwashed over the years or completely exited politics. But like when you like, for instance, one of the women that I talked to at work, they were just like, I was like, they didn't even know what Roe was, Roe v. Wade.
Right. It's not things that are just it's just like there aren't things, as from what I know, that are that talked about or explained, right?
Yeah, most often when I talk to when I get engaged with the women around me and talk to them about like the stuff, like I can easily find like common footing. It's just like,
Yeah, of course.
where it's just like, you've lost your body. I never wanted you to lose your bodily autonomy, and they're attacking mine, and it's all interlinked.
Yeah, of course.
And easy allies. Like there's no reason for people to.
Yeah, of course, there's a reason why when the Polish government has banned the abortion of damaged fetuses, this was a really big thing. A whole protest of women came out to the streets, and the leaders of those protests, there's a reason why they said we ally ourselves with all of the LGBT, right? As well. The whole of the LGBT is also the ally of this women's protest movement. Yeah, there's a reason for that, right? That's the thing that you're saying.
Yeah. Well, like for instance, like our community, your community, a lot of it's hard to find. Like I know some cis women on Discord, but in general, most of our political communities, we have to realize, like, we have to do a little more outreach.
Right.
Get involved in like our, like, I feel like a missing demographic is literally just trans people talking with cis women. We're not reaching them very well. Like your average normie around you. They're not being reached on a lot of like political discords. They're not being reached in like, they're not very prevalent. Like they may not watch, like they're not subscribed to like Vosh or Zan very much, or like,
Right.
These other political streamers. They're looking up hair tips on YouTube or what, travel tips. What, they're not very politically engaged. They did get politically engaged when Roe was removed, and discussions started happening. They got more involved.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are probably still on Twitter in that hellhole. Like, perhaps, but like, just some things that I'm thinking about, in addition to like, in addition to just talking about sexism, but trying to give people some ideas to help combat what's going on. I have like shared things like with my knowledge, with my political knowledge, and research that I've done, getting into the history of things, reading feminism. Like, I can easily get across to the women around me where a lot of them they're not radical. They're not like down in this deep dark hole of like transphobia or anything. They're
Right.
just.
But that's the big problem is that
But they just have a general they may have like this general indoctrination of just like, yeah, well, we need to protect the children. They're concerned white women everywhere. Concerned white women are everywhere. They're just concerned. Clap your hands, they're concerned. White women. We need to protect the children.
Of course, the big challenge with all this is that the bigoted radical feminists have already sort of recognized that they do not have
and
as much of a public support as they would like. So they have already, on a couple of occasions, openly stated that if they cannot go get the public support, then they will just go straight to the legislation level, and then you will just pass laws that will ban the things that they don't like, but through bypassing the public support. Right?
Well, yeah, that's what's so awful about it. In the U.S., like our political system is not. We don't have a direct democracy, and people actually have to be extremely engaged, or you have to you literally have to get people excited. You have to be like, this could be like the way we talk about like how literally telling people around you like this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like this is what's happening. This is what it will boil like lead them down the road, and people their eyes will start going, oh my gosh, you're right. Like this is, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I
There's
also
a lot of people that are just they're just so far out there. They're not engaged. They're not. You can't get their support to go. Like, there's no reason that you can't get like garner people to say, hey, cis people, they don't have to be trans to go testify.
Right.
For bills and things. It doesn't always work, but if you have like a lot of support, it can help.
Right.
And writing them and things like this, it doesn't always work. They may be that politically motivated,
Right.
but it could help.
So I also think that we should make it into just as much of an international project as the other side did,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because where they're drawing upon, like in the United States, are these like the GOP and like legislators, they're drawing from Russia.
Right.
They're drawing from like
and vice versa, right? Like Putin at some point was
they've
talking about Putin at some
bill.
point was talking about how J.K. Rowling is oppressed by the evil ideologies.
Oh yeah, it's just.
And he blamed trans people for the degeneracy in Ukraine, so...
Yeah, I'm going to annex Ukraine because of
trans people.
Because of trans people. It's insane.
Yeah. So we should push back on a equally international level, right? Like love and solidarity, as I often say.
The UN is doing work. I just don't know how much it's going to gain traction in redoing their. But they wanted focus. They put focus on this whole religious freedom versus LGBTQ rights. Asking for support. Because that's what they weaponize a lot, especially in the United States. And it's something that we have to realize. They're weaponizing, like with Christian nationalism and everything, that's what's very big. You've got the Christian nationalists allying with just general gender criticals with the political ideology. not all Christian people are bad. I've found a lot of Christian allies around me on the internet. I've looked at organizations.
Oh, Karasu is saying, not sure who you're talking to when it comes to drawing mod from other countries, but when it comes to the international aspect, Hungary's Orban did pass basically the don't say gay law, you know,
Yeah, and
early
Orban,
this year. But it's not just a copy. There had been a cooperation between GOP and Hungarian Fidesz for a decade or decades now. Yeah, it's not just copying. It's like it's literal
Orban
cooperation, right?
Yeah, and Orban was heck. He was at the what do you call it? Their
We had Fidesz advisors who served as GOP advisor, right?
yeah, they're. I mean, Tucker Carlson's been in direct contact with Orban. He's getting ammunition from them.
So it is like there is an
He was
experiment
invited to
going on.
the GOP summit. I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have first experiment. You have the first experiment in Hungary, and then almost outsource it. Then these advisors bring back the tactics to GOP.
Right. Yeah, it's very obvious how.
Yeah, it's an international project, you know, like
Yeah,
when
I saw
yeah.
Vice News actually did a news piece on this, on like some young conservatives that were where they literally had like that link and talking about how they wanted to use what's going on in Hungary and use that as part of the thing. And
Right.
I think Vice took it down because I've been trying to bring it back up for a long time and share it again. But I think
Was such an advisor. It's horrible. Like yeah, or like the Polish president when he was in the middle of his campaign to get re-elected, like the Polish far-right president. Right before the final voting, he left to the U.S. and met with Trump when he was still president. You know, these things are very linked.
yeah.
Yeah, it is a
And
very international project.
I mean, just
for it.
despite the fact that like Trump had close ties to Russia, his whole cabinet.
Yeah, of course. That's why people will say, "Oh, if
Oh,
that's why people
Russia.
that's why people unironically will say, if only Trump stayed in office, Russia would not have attacked Ukraine because Trump was a strongman leader and he would have done the perfect negotiation with Russia and Russia would not have attacked. But we have weak Biden, so Russia. That's a narrative that we have heard as well, right? That is a narrative that we have heard from the far righters.
Yeah, I think this is something that's hard to talk about.
Yeah, Orban, of course, also had close ties with Russia, Putin. That ironically enough created a divide between Hungary and Poland a bit because no matter how far right Poland will go, Poland will at least openly not have good relations with Russia because Poland has had too big of a history with Russia to do that. So even that their most far rightist, Poland will not go the Orban route.
Interesting.
Yeah, that did create a bit of a crack in the relations between Polish government and Orban. Even though at first Poland really Even though Poland did try to play defense for Orban at first when he gave support for Putin, you know?
Mm.
But basically, the leader of Poland, Jarosław Kaczynski, did say we are going to create a second Budapest here in Poland.
Yeah. Another thing that I noticed when we talk about cissexism
Right?
and like the biological essentialism and
Right.
strict gender roles,
I
you
mean,
see that play out.
biological and essential is basically like the last thing that those sort of people cling on to, right? Even though,
Mhm.
like, we know that sex is a
When
lot
you
more complicated than what they claim to be.
right, so when you look at one thing that I noticed, like within my own transition, and now that I've throughout the years, and one thing that I didn't like, I was kind of getting into feminism and like kind of breaking down sexism.
Right.
When you look at the UK,
Yeah.
and what they're trying to do with like, and the United States is catching on to this, but like with their whole like, they're treating a haircut as transition,
I'm sorry?
or growing your hair out or getting a haircut as gender transition. This
Yeah.
is this, so it's not just cis-sexist for trans people.
It's ridiculous.
It's sexist
It's
for
sexist
cis
in a
men and
very
cis women.
traditional way.
Yeah, it's women. It's the whole, women have long hair, men have short hair. Like, I know growing up, like in that whole like strict environment of gender
Yeah.
roles and like this whole thing, what
Yeah.
you're forced into is like I was constantly, I always wanted to grow my hair out.
Right. But you were
That's
pressured into cutting them, right?
always being pressured into cutting my hair.
Right.
And now that I'm an adult, I'm transitioning like, there are a lot of like masculine men that have long hair that I like, like, and this is like the stupidest, like, narrow scope of like what is attractive in men and women and like how they should present and like everything. It's so sexist. And this is kind of a tip for like that I'll like tell like people like younger trans people like trying to get through things and like transitioning, like you're a trans woman and you're growing out your hair, and like the workplace is like, why do you have long hair, or why do you have this, why do you don't even have to come out at work if that's not what you want at the time. This is what I did, okay? Just hear me out. You're being sexist.
Yeah.
That's what I told them at work. I said, you're just being sexist. And that shut them up. They didn't want that. Like they realized the implication of just like telling without me being out as trans and like growing out my hair.
Right.
I was just like, you're just being sexist.
Exactly. But that's because
And that's how it interacts, right?
Yeah. But that's because the right-wing project ideally goes beyond just genociding trans people. It goes like the ideal state of the far-right project is putting men and women into very specific roles in society, you know?
Exactly. Yep.
So that's a whole system, you know? The plans for trans people is just part of the whole design, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has to go back to certain very, like, ideally, even like tomboyish, quote unquote, women would not be tolerated in society, you know?
Yeah. So in a lot of ways, like this whole movement is not just fear, like it obviously transphobia isn't just fear of trans people, but
Yeah, of course.
on its very minor levels, it's just like, I don't know, trans people are weird. I don't you know, I just don't get them around me. I just
Yeah, but that's
shooting at home,
confusion,
I
not
whatever.
that's more confusion than outright
Yeah,
bigotry, right?
right. But in its most sinister level is cis sexism, where it's just like, you don't exist.
Yeah,
This is,
exactly. Yeah,
you know.
you're
So it
delusional.
is that
Not
like,
just you don't exist, you are being delusional, right?
hmm hmm
You're living a
So
fantasy.
I think it's I. Th- the reason I want to talk about this is like, I think what we need to focus on is not like because like I don't know, the milder forms of transphobia for me anymore are just like I
Right.
can brush off like nothing.
Which of course
What is
keep in mind that there are also like you said about typical like regular cis women, right?
Mhm.
For example, in my day-to-day life, I'm pretty much not out to anyone, right? Like I quote unquote boy mode on my daily life, right?
Mhm.
I present pretty boily. I I boy mode, you know. And
Boy, oh.
today, like, I guess the only explanation is that some sort of certain things just slip through, or just like how do you say what's the word is like I don't know, because apparently my mom told me when I visited her at the clinic today, right?
Yeah.
That the lady at the reception asked mom earlier today, so when's your daughter gonna pay for your stay, you know?
Yeah.
And I basically function as a man in daily, and still my mom got asked today, so when's your daughter gonna pay? So I guess, you know,
Oh,
so certain
that's great.
things sort of just I don't know, maybe, you know, I don't know.
That's cool.
That's
I'm
kind
glad
of
you.
interesting little trivia that mom decided to share with me today. You know, that she got asked when's the daughter gonna pay, you know?
Did that warm you up a little bit?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting considering that I didn't actually try to present to them as a girl in any way, you know?
I wonder if she insisted on that.
No, she didn't. She didn't. Nobody said anything. Nobody like mentioned anything of the sort. So that just came out of
That's nice.
nowhere, you know?
That's nice.
On
Yeah.
that lady's part. So
Um.
yeah, like it's a
Yeah.
nice little trivia for today, you know?
Yeah. That's great. Um. Yeah. So, like with the Limkin thing, like that's why the that's why the gender critical movement is so genocidal. It's like it's not. We have to focus more on like not focus on more subtler uh, variations of
Well, there are
transphobia.
like the main variations right now, right?
Yeah, like
We're not against trans people. We just want to focus on keeping children safe, or we want to keep focus on keeping sports fair, or we want to, you know, you can just multiply example upon example, right?
yeah. I think when you as we talk to people, I think it will resonate better with people, and we need to address things more from not like like to say, oh, you're just being transphobic or this or that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I want people to start using the word cis sexism more, where it is the more systemic a thing that is like that will like wipe us out. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not it's not the trans people are icky thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's trans people are degenerate. They don't exist. We need to erase this whole gender ideology, quote unquote. Like, that is more insidious version that we need to tackle. If somebody's just like, I don't know, trans women are trans women. Let's let's just back off like a little bit with like those kinds of things a little bit, like
Hmm.
where it's like where people are just like, well, trans women are just trans women versus trans women are women and like all this kind of stuff. It's like, let's try to like back away from that slightly and just be like, okay, here is the systematic thing that is going to wipe my existence off this planet. And talk about things this way, with people, you know.
Yeah, some gender critical clearly said that transgenderism needs to be eradicated.
Right. Yeah, like, yeah, because they just it's just an ideology. It's just a belief,
Right.
crazy belief in people's heads. They,
Clearly
that,
aims to destroy trans people as long as they are trans. Right.
and the thing is, and the way that you can explain it to people is just like, even if you've got like just somebody that's just like, I don't know about this trans stuff, blah blah blah. Like,
Right. Only accepting them living if they are no longer trans.
okay, I guess you're trans, I guess you exist, and I gotta like live with you, but like, I don't know, like if these people, like, you've got to like explain, like, with the if you can get across to them that it's like, look, I understand you're like skittish or whatever, but they aren't just like, they're not trying to like ban me from this
Right.
or that. They're not targeting me. They're writing me out of existence. And every bill that you kind of feel wishy-washy about, you need to tell people like, this is precedent to write me out of existence.
I highly recommend.
Even if like, this will probably never affect you, but these bills aren't just saying like, well, we need to like, we just don't want you here or we don't want you there. Every one of these is not like banning the trans person.
Right.
They are writing me out of existence.
Right. Karasu
And
says.
each one that goes through creates precedent.
Yeah, for more. Yeah. Katie Montgomery does a good track of British gender criticals on these comments. I highly recommend the Transatlantic Show in YouTube to follow. They're doing great advocacy. Like, okay, by the way, Lonerbox accepted that gender critical movement is genocidal after Katie Montgomery pushed back on his stances. Of course, the problem with Lonerbox is that he will begrudgingly accept that a movement is genocidal, but he will not accept that there is a genocide actually happening, right? Like he will say, yeah, those people are genocidal. They would love to do a genocide, but there is nothing actually happening, right? That's
Yeah.
like, I think that's the problem with
You know what
events.
the problem is? That mindset. It is it's the liberal / moderate mindset that says things will just be okay in time.
Right.
You know, like it doesn't, they don't recognize that they just see things in like waves, and like everything will go, we'll take forward steps, and like they'll try to take us a couple of backward steps, but then we'll go 10 steps, and like progress is just always exponential. We'll always get to the better place.
Right.
Like that's their mindset, right? And they don't recognize how fragile things are.
Yeah, exactly. You need to fight to not just get things to be better, but you also need to fight not to let things roll back, right?
You can like, they're not just like taking us to
You're
like,
not
oh
once a thing happens,
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
guaranteed to stay
yeah.
forever,
They're
right?
not just, they're not just like, well, well, trans people in sports, okay, like we're just gonna ban you out of sports.
Right.
And for the vast majority of trans people, oh my God, fine. If you just want to do that for now, but leave me alone everywhere else. As long as you're not like writing me out of existence as you do it, and you're just like, for fuck's sake, like that's where we're at. Like, but they're not just doing that.
No, I actually don't. I don't think so. I think we should not sit on any ground, to be honest. I
Oh,
think
I know
once,
that that's me too. That's me
like,
too. But like, because of that reason, because
right,
the grounds are that they're writing, they're separating, they're creating a wedge to say,
right.
to enforce this sexism. No matter how you look at it, they're not saying, like, if they were to write a bill that says bans the trans woman out of sports, they couldn't write it. It would be obviously discriminatory.
Yeah, of course. Like, yeah, of
They-
course. It's
it,
just like
it's
with the,
it
as
could
I
be
said,
they could literally write a bill, one sentence that says,
this
we
is,
would like, we
this
would like to
is,
ban trans women out of women's sports,
but
and that would be the bill. That's
this
not the
is,
bill.
this is not how modern day bigotry plays out in general, right? Like, this is
Right,
not how systemic racism plays out either, right? Like within the
right,
bills. Like
yeah,
you target, like, this was caught, like that is that it targeted people of color with laser precision, but it also, technically speaking, did not mention people of color directly, right? It just happened to target the places in which people of color would vote. It just happened to make it harder for people of color to drive to those places to be able to cast their vote, etc., right? But it also did not specifically say we want to ban people of color from voting, right?
right. And you know what else? You know what's interesting about that? People don't. A lot of people didn't realize. Like I brought this up, is like, voter ID laws affect trans people too.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't just affect POC people, but it also affects trans people.
So when you spend more time being concerned about trans people pushing for using genocide than tackle gender critical genocidal narratives, there's something wrong with that. Yeah, of course, yeah.
It yeah, like there are a lot of systems that interact with each other. Like a lot of trans people are poor. A lot of black people are poor.
Yeah, you
And then
can.
they gerrymander, and then they put
Yeah.
voter ID laws,
You can
and they're
you
fucking
can
with
get
all.
away
Like,
with targeting a population by targeting a general feature of that population instead of that population directly. Yeah, exactly. This is like the modern face of systemic bigotry, right?
correct. Yeah. Hmm.
And this is what we need to focus on pushing against internationally, right? We have to make it an international project, right?
I mean, um before the second push of like, or even like in the middle of like the Trump era, it was like, I was screaming. I wanted to like just scream like, where is the women's march, including like trans women, like,
Mm-hmm.
because it's whether cis women really recognize it unless they're talked to. Like, you've got to, like, you can't just attack one
Like,
groups. If you explain it to them, it's like you can't just like target one group's bodily autonomy and expect
right,
like
right.
that
Also,
degradation of human rights. I was like, I knew Roe was going to be overturned as they were attacking trans people the way they
right,
were. I was
yeah.
like, they're attacking bodily
Bodily
autonomy.
autonomy, yeah. And keep in mind, even when we had like the very explicit trans ban from the military, right?
Mhm.
Even then, people tried to reframe it as to be the more insidious thing of it's not a trans ban from the military. It's just that the military has introduced certain specific requirements to be in the military, and trans people just happen not to fit those criteria, right?
Yeah. It's so insidious, right?
Yeah, it was reframed to be something like that by many people, right? When they try to play defense. It's not that trans people cannot be in the military. It's just that that you have to meet certain criteria to be in the military, right?
And we know that like trans people may be have like symptoms of dysphoria and these
Right,
things,
right,
right?
right. Those which are
Oh yeah,
mental symptoms, right?
their mental state may not be very good, and they may not be military ready or whatever they want
Yeah,
to come
but
up with.
the fact is that many trans people did pass those criteria and just like it just became like many people who were accepted already were fired from the military, right? But they passed through those things before and were okay to serve. And other people were like, the military should not spend money on things like hormones for trans people, while a lot of money is being um, spent
Spent
on
on
crap like,
Viagra.
yeah, Viagra, right, right, yeah, exactly. You know?
Like the like I think it was like 5 times more the dollar value on Viagra.
Yeah, it's like
For how many
total,
times
total dishonest nonsense, right?
right. You definitely need Viagra in the military.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah. We aren't
um,
banning trans people, just people who meet the criteria of being trans. Yeah, exactly.
mhm.
Like, so we definitely need to get more on board with what's happening, you know?
Yeah. If I could like bounce just briefly onto another topic,
Yeah.
it's related because it's what they've done, at least in this one companion bill in my state, so I can talk about this.
Okay.
That is it's just, I'm sure you've seen me talk about it on my server a lot
All right.
and throughout, because it's one thing that I have been wanting to dismantle as a systemic problem so bad. what they've done is right. Affirming your trans child as child abuse
Right.
while saying it's okay to abuse your child.
Yeah, because denying your child care, denying your child the ability to be themselves is basically abuse, right?
Basically, it's not just that, because they ignore symptoms of dysphoria.
Yeah,
They don't mention dysphoria. They write cis sexism into the bill.
yeah, yeah, of course.
But it's not even just that. It's that they want to make sure that spanking and assaulting your child is legal. They want to beat the queer out of your children.
Oh, yeah.
And it's something that a lot of people don't realize is that when you look at the studies on, and this is,
Of
where are
course.
you seeing all of these bills pop up?
Of course, keep in mind, this opens the door to, once again, as I said, returning to the traditional model when physically disciplining your child is the norm, right?
This is the Christian nationalist aspect of it.
Right, it just becomes the norm once again to just beat your child when the child is disobedient, right?
POC people,
And
disabled people,
yeah, and of
queer
course,
people,
I've already
anybody that acts, you have to discipline that. You have to beat it out of them.
Yeah,
They're obviously just not fitting your.
Keep in
thing.
mind,
So
keep in mind, I've already spoken with conservatives that openly told me that, yeah, of course, children are property of their parents. So, you know.
Yeah, and that's exactly how they treat. Like, this is the. I grew up in the Bible Belt, and it's called the Bible Belt for a reason. It's because they beat people with belts, spoons, hands. They whether it's a woman, a child, a black person,
Right.
it originated from slavery.
Yeah.
And everybody in the Midwest and the South of US is just assaulting people. They're physically beating people to conform.
Yeah.
And when you look at studies of children that are spanked or whatever else, whatever way that they want to, whether it's a light swat, it doesn't even have to make a mark. They'll do all these arguments about it. It's sexual abuse. It's treated as sexual abuse in the mind of the child. Like, that's the actual child sexual abuse, like the whole freaking narrative that they're darvoing across the whole nation of child abuse.
But I'm actually
because they actually want to just abuse children.
I'm actually surprised that you actually need a study to demonstrate that beating a child is not good. You know?
No, but long term, like, we have studies where it is registered as sexual assault.
Yeah.
And so that they are literally, like, this is just, it's so disgusting, and that's why we have to, like,
push against it. This is
one of my avenues, because, like,
right,
if we are to fight this narrative that they're pushing,
right,
the only way that you stop it is to flip it on its head.
Yeah.
You can't play defense on it. You have to say,
of course. No, of course.
All these people, like, literally every person that is, like, laughing on Fox News, like, yeah, correct my child in the schools. Like, I'll sign the paper so you can hit them there, and then
Yeah,
when they
hit
come
them with
home,
a
I'll
paddle,
hit
right?
you. Like, these people don't. They never like from child marriage to
Beauty
children can consent.
pageants.
Children can consent at 13. Like
Right.
all like they are
Matt
disgusting
Walsh's.
people. In addition to like the whole groom like in addition to the whole groomer narrative is a complete
Yeah.
projection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. Yeah, 100%.
Complete projection on queer people.
Yeah.
It is also that they actually want to beat it out of you
Yeah.
as a, like literally sexually abuse you that way too. They want to
Yeah. I
physically
mean,
hit you,
children
beat it out of
marriages.
you.
Children can be pregnant, no problem. They should come,
It,
like, give birth.
it is banned. It is illegal in 63 countries, and it is the UN calls out the United States for doing this and making it okay. 19 states, the Bible Belt, it is legal in public schools. All 50 states, you can beat the shit out of your child all
Yeah,
you want,
with a paddle. Right?
however you want. The police don't have any. You will have child services being able to do nothing about
Uh,
you
excuse me for
hitting
a
your
moment.
child.
Excuse me for a moment, okay? Continue and I will be right back, okay? I have to go to the toilet.
Yeah. Hello, chat. So yeah, I mean, I feel so pressured to testify. My, and like I just don't like for these bills that are hitting my state again. They've coupled this together, like the literal Darvo, like just it is just all in one bill, and it it makes me want to scream. I just want to go into court, testify against these bills, and tell them how disgusting it is. Things. It's really a tough spot. Like I'm already in a tough spot. Like, I don't want to like get out in front of and testify, but I know I could speak to people. Like I've got the vitriol to do it, but it's just in prior session I wrote to them like crazy. I got people to call and we did like break down, like we stopped them from passing anything. It was a whole way, like some of the worst. And people don't talk about Missouri enough. We often bring up like Texas and Florida, which are the worst. One thing that people don't realize is how much they're communicating and seeing what's going on in each state and how they can use that. And the attorney generals are talking to each other. They're coming up with like if they can't get it done in legislation, the attorney generals are like coming up with shit together. They're colluding. They're writing things together. Like,
I am back. Come
on. Yeah, I was talking before you got back, Alicia. I was talking about how a lot of people really don't bring up Missouri enough. Like we fought off the wave, and it's going to be okay now.
Right.
Like Missouri had one of the worst waves of anti-trans legislation in the country,
Mm-hmm.
and won a bill that was unique to all others across the country, where they wanted to raise the transition age to 25.
Right.
That doesn't come up anywhere else. That has not come up anywhere else except Florida, where they said 18 and then we won't cover it under public health care.
Right.
But they wanted to raise it to 25, and that's why, and they used the whole like your brain isn't fully developed until 25 shit to do it as their ammunition. And that's why I've been wanting to make sure that people are ready for this argument, because it's going to come up again.
And again.
It's going to come up again. They're going to say, your brain isn't fully developed. So you can't actually know your gender until you're 25 years old.
And of course,
Which is complete bollocks. It's complete bollocks, but they're going to keep trying that.
Yeah.
So you can go to war, you can drink, you can smoke, you can vote,
you can get pregnant.
You can't know your gender, and you can't do anything about that until you're 25 plus as a trans person, and only a trans person. Right? It's they're gonna try it again. So it's something that we have to talk about and be ready for.
Yeah.
On this whole when they're talking about consent, they obviously have horrible ideas about consent and all these things. But
right, and
what we have to think about a little bit, and I've kind of discussed it with and the Avi server. Avi?
Who?
Avi, forget what his... Anyway,
the biologist?
Yeah,
okay.
that Avi.
Right. Why?
Try to get to bounce off. But what is the actual... Even if let's say that people really don't know, even cis people don't really understand their gender all the way up till 18 years old, and that's when they really know that they're a girl or whatever, fully, or that's when they know that they're definitely a girl into womanhood and all this other stuff. Let's just take that for a moment. Right. What would be the actual difference between 18 and 25? What amount of development that we don't already recognize happens amongst everybody else? What minuscule amount of that development actually happens between 18 and 25?
Right.
I mean, be able to be pretty little. It's not like you haven't figured most things out about yourself. Right. Especially simple things you could, despite the indoctrination that we face, which is the primary contributor, of course, to trans people not figuring things out till later in life.
Yeah.
Which they want that anyway.
Yeah,
they just don't want you to ever realize. They don't ever want you to they'll make sure you don't.
The ideal state is for trans people to think that it's not really worth doing anything because no one will ever accept it, right?
Yeah, and I think Aaron Reed did a good job of talking about this. Is especially is when we look at these studies, they don't. We have to tell them, it's just you see better success rates, lesser
keep in mind that all of those things
when you try to put the clamps on it, the only thing that it does is exacerbate the issue. It makes it, you're actually increasing the problem that you're trying to prevent.
Keep in mind that is very transparently just all BS, right? Because you cannot say in one breath that a person is not fit to decide on their gender until 25, but people are fine to get pregnant at 13, get married at 13, and
Or be
like
charged
give
as an
birth.
adult. Or be charged as an adult as a
Right,
15-year-old
right.
black kid,
Like that
right?
you can like give birth as a child, but at the same time, like it's really incoherent, right? Because
Mhm.
they say that only women can give birth, for example, right? Women. So the person needs to know that they are women, right? To give
Yeah.
birth. But then they also say that until 25 you cannot know your gender, but it's fine to give birth as a woman, as a child, right?
Mhm.
So it's completely BS,
Yeah.
right?
The weirdest thing about it is like, it's like, why are you so obsessed with my fertility?
Oh
Right?
yeah, it's like that's because you give birth to more loyal um, nationals when you do that,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. One thing that I was explained to here, the normies, this idiot legislators that are just like getting that. Some of them are really idiots. Like some of these like your legislators, they're really idiots
Right,
on the issue. The legislators themselves,
right,
even some of the Republican legislators, they're just ignorant on the issue. They
right,
really are. They're getting they're getting bills pushed onto them. Like they're like, we need you to introduce this bill. It's so important. Like
right,
you've got the gender criticals, the
right, right,
Christian
right, right,
nationalists.
right.
They're like, we need you to put this on. Like we need to vote on this, and we need they're getting it's a very powerful network that are just like they could have support from various attorney generals from across the states. They're like, we need you to introduce these bills. This set, and here's how we suggest that they're written and everything else. Like they've got it all boiled down,
Right.
right? So okay, we'll introduce the bill, but they have
Yeah,
no like they don't understand the implications. They don't.
they don't or
Sometimes
they don't care,
they
right?
don't care. Yeah, they just have a very okay, whatever.
And of course, keep in mind that when it comes to your question, why are people so interested in your fertility? I think Russia has actually uh, delivered the answer, provided the answer to your question directly by giving the Russian soldiers to the ability to freeze their sperm for free, right?
Mm, mm.
Because when you have reproduction, you have more loyal
Yeah,
citizens of the state, and you know the wheel keeps turning, right?
oh, we need to worry about the birth rates.
Right,
We
right,
need
right.
to. Yeah,
We
it's
need
the
more
whole.
loyal citizens, basically.
We need to make sure the white people are breeding and
Right, right,
keep the immigrants out of the country and
right, right. We need to keep the nation pure, right?
right. No, I mean that's one aspect of the cringe, but like it's
Well, there are many
um,
aspects,
they're
and they are
also
all interconnected. So,
yeah, it's also just really creepy. It's just
yeah,
like
of course.
the creepy parts of it.
And then they, as you said, project it onto others and try to say, no, no, we're not the creeps. It's the LGBT that are the creeps,
Oh,
not
we're
us.
just concerned. Like, how could you make this decision to like lose your fertility? Don't you want to plant your seed or be
Right.
inseminated? Like, whoa, but honey, that's my decision. What do you have any say about that?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Gross. Yeah, it's just what? it's
Right.
because like they
Don't
really don't
smoke
care.
screen for their fields, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we will need to wrap it up since it's 4:15,
Okay.
and I will have to go to my mom tomorrow as well.
Okay.
As she'll be going out of the clinic soon, and there are certain preparations that I have to do make at home to make
Mhm.
sure that she'll be able to function properly when she's here.
Yeah. Is she gonna need physical therapy or she already?
Oh, she's having one now, but she'll continue it. It's in some capacity, right?
Yeah.
Relearning to walk.
Yeah. I'm glad you got support for her and everything.
Yeah, we would have been really screwed. Like, mom was in that fighting against the old regime in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she has this special paper. She's treated like a combatant, basically like a veteran, you know?
Oh wow.
She's like the status of a veteran because she fought against the old regime, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And theoretically speaking, she has free healthcare, um, and she theoretically speaking does not have to wait in line for it, right?
Yeah.
And she was like told in the clinic, yeah, nice, you've got this legitimation that as a vet that gets you healthcare outside of the queue, right? So you are the person number 201 in the queue outside of the queue,
Oh my gosh.
which means you will be eligible for free, um, like, uh, for a free rehab somewhere, sometime around April next year.
Oh my god.
So, yeah. So basically, if we didn't have the money to do it private, we'd be screwed. Like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
That's
it
awful.
would have been like, yeah, it is like, yeah. So it's a really great that that it worked out with the fundraiser, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Would have been really not good at all.
Mhm.
Well then, thank you for
Have a-
coming. Thank
yeah,
you
I hope
for
everybody enjoyed the combo.
yeah. So that's my another segment that I have from today, apart from the heated Steven one, you know. Have you seen any of the Steven segment?
Oh, I'll watch it.
Yeah, you should watch it when I prepare it. I'll create a juicy thumbnail. There's like,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I have like an image in my mind how it will look like. Okay. Keep
Okay. Have a good rest,
yeah.
Lucy.
Good night, you Clary. Come on.
Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Good night.
Yeah, good night. Press disconnect, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, come on. And now I press happy face. So I thank everybody for coming. Maybe we will reach 500 subs someday. Come on. And I wish you a good night. We pass and stream. And I wish you all a happy giggling. Come on.